Lip boomers.
Oh, lippies.
Updogg. I know the promo code for this one, baby, because I am on the website. I just put in a massive lip boomer order.
The candidates from Humboldt County, California, with their new collection, the Humboldt collection.
The new collection. I don't want to beat down the old collection because I love the old collection too. But this new collection, the double G4, the Skittles, the clean peach.
The double G4. Is this why I feel a little tingly?
Oh yeah, tingly fella.
Right
I
down
love
into
them.
the nuts.
I just made a nice little order. But you know what? I pump in Curfew Cali, booyah, discount, shipped right to my house. Didn't take a while.
The new
Lip
tins.
boomers.
The new tins
are amazing.
You put that little chew thing when it gets a little too sticky.
Icky.
You fire it right in the top. I'm going to sauce this right over to my partner here, Shane O'Brien. Look at it on the tape.
Look at that. Do I have it in here? Let me see. Oh.
Lip Boomers, baby. Our friends at cannabiscbd.com. Log in now. Curfew code is Curfew Cali, baby.
Curfew Cali.
Hey, it's Jim Abbott. You're listening to Missin Curfew, here with the boys.
Fella. Welcome back to a fresh new episode of Missin Curfew. I'm Shane O'Brien.
And I'm Scottie Upshaw.
Updogg.
He's got the candidates ready.
A fucking, look at this. Double G4.
Are you just working your arm? It's like baseball season again. Spring training.
How do I know if I
Hey,
can
they fired that, right?
Oh, off the mic.
Right off the mic.
Yeah.
How's that? Speaking of mics, I got to turn my mic up.
You can't hear me? Uppy.
There you go. That's better.
Throw
Like that.
Throw that back, though.
That's a candidate's little saucer pass.
Oh, nice.
This is what we do in the studio here.
It's a little warm in here today.
Saucer passes and sweaty balls.
The big man, they're going to make me just, are they trying to, like my old coaches, just get me down to my playing weight, sweat me out? Go sit in the sauna, O'Brien.
What's this place going to be like in fucking mid-May when the playoffs are happening? It's getting a little hot. Ice gets a little sticky.
We're going to have to do it outside.
The studio's
Do it outside.
Maybe right at the Bay Club. How was the Bay Club, bud?
The Bay Club is, it's a single man's dream, Upshaw. I mean, I went over yesterday and checked out like the gym and the men's locker room over there. It's a full-on. You remember like the old where we worked out, the sports club, the Equinox Sports Club, where they had like the members
lounge?
Yeah,
so right over.
It's
right beside us.
Yeah,
here.
they have the members lounge where you can sit in there, watch TV, and then they got the sauna, steamer, hot tub. Go in there, give your balls a soak.
Speaking of this, do you, because I'm going to laugh and you're going to laugh now. Do you remember the time you and Loop, so I was working out at a different place, right?
Yeah.
But I got the membership solely to go have lunch with you guys before we golf like Oak Creek or whatever, right? We didn't have our memberships. But do you remember the time you guys came in and I was fucking in that shower area on one of those white little day beds?
Yeah.
And I just was fucking taking a snooze because it's so warm in there. And I was just snoozing, and my balls were just hanging out out of my robe. And
the funniest thing was because it's usually guys that are like
just old fuckers,
old fuckers that are having a little midday, and we're like, "Where's Uppy? Oh, fuck, let's go have a soak. You must be running late." And you're tits up with the little towel over your nutsack, and you're fucking out cold. I'm like, we were loving it. Yeah, the old boys would love.
Yeah, that
sleeping
was
there.
a good. What was it called?
Equinox Sports Club.
Sports Club.
Good buffet there, like salad bar, not buffet. Salad bar with healthy stuff. And,
Yeah.
And it was key for the boys back in the day.
Fuck, we used to go hard, eh?
We used to go hard.
Like in the gym?
Now we go hard. Now we go hard in other ways. But yeah, we used to work out, skate, then go play golf.
So I saw you yesterday. You sent a couple of vids to the boys. A little hoops game in there.
So
Did you play pickup with the boys?
No, I just went in there, hit a couple shots, but I literally played basketball for 15 minutes in there, and I got out of there. My back was in my hip, so I don't think
you're taking an invisible C note, our boy Cody, to the net hard, eh? Just doing a couple little layups.
I was backing him in after all the Getzlaf chirping. I was like, Cody, this is what I would do to you on the court. I would back you in, but we could play like a game of. It's a full-on court, game of horse or something.
Yeah. I was doing that at the old crib.
Yeah.
And then the place I'm at now, you left me the basketball hoop, eh? So I got a little hoop outside on the street.
Yeah.
It's a nice hoop.
I was going to talk about your pad. I made my first
Hoop,
appearance
there it
there.
is.
What night was that?
Friday.
Friday.
Thanks for coming.
Great little outdoor living area.
That was my first little. I wanted to have a rodeo in there, but there just wasn't enough.
Fuck.
There just wasn't enough, time.
That's a great backyard.
Oh,
You got to have that fence around the pool, though, for Izzy, obviously, right?
Put the fence up was the first thing. Christina actually wouldn't let us move in there unless the fence is up. And by rights, right? When you have a little kid, a toddler, I mean, she's buzzing around now. She doesn't stop talking.
She is buzzing.
All it was a week with Dad. I was full dad duty all week.
Yeah, how was that? That's good for you.
Fucking right.
That's good for you. How was it?
Had her to the beach a few times. We went for lunch. Took her on a great bike ride. Like, I got the shout out to this company called Thule. They make everything from ski racks to fucking Max knows. He's a mountaineer.
He's an outdoorsman.
But I got this little seat that sits on my handlebars, and it's the size of a little bucket. And she just gets in there. Her legs are open, and I just buzz. So I got that. I got the Santa Cruz bike. But this seat, she loves it. So we did that back bay. By the way, this is probably where you go on your morning little jogs and walks. Jogging.
I believe it's silent. A sauce. I believe it's silent J. I believe it's jogging.
Jogging. It's like a 12-mile loop. I did it this morning solo, but I had Izzy there, and she literally like laughed and smiled the whole ride. It's like a 45-minute ride.
Yeah,
and
you did the whole back bay.
The whole loop on the bike. It's great. It's awesome.
So nice up there, isn't it?
It's beautiful.
I love the little outfit, the little, I don't think it's called a daishiki, but what did Spencer get her? That little, what's that called?
That's like a poncho.
Poncho.
Is it a poncho? It could be called something else.
What did I call it? Dashiki?
Dashiki.
It's not a dashiki, is it?
It sounds like a Game of Thrones fucking dragon. One of those dragons.
What's a dashiki? I don't even know what that is. Binger, look up a dashiki, bud, please. I don't even know what that is.
Sounds like a sausage.
Anyways, that looked like a poncho you could wear at Bonnaroo or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Speaking of music festivals, are you maybe planning on going to Coachella?
I don't think I'm going to Coachella. Me and Matt Gill and Loops were planning on going. It just kind of fell through. It's so expensive, man.
If you're going in with a big group,
and then the Sprinter van, and then the artist passes, and then the party at Tao, and then the fucking carnival party, and then
the driver,
and then the hooker you got to bang on Sunday night when you.
Yeah, and the hooker most importantly, yeah. So I think I'm going to go on the second weekend after Easter, because Easter's next weekend, right? So we little thing at Big Canyon.
There you go.
We'll talk about this next week, because it's fucking last year was like the llamas and the donkeys and the fucking chickens.
They spare no expense at Big Canyon.
But I think we're going to go to Coachella. I think we're going to meet Christina and Izzy. A little different than the times have been before.
I'd say. Updogg Masters Week recap. Listen, fella. Congratulations.
Oh, I picked the winner. How do you not pick one Scottie to the other?
I love a couple of boys were chirping you on our social when Prince C's like, they're like, way to go to the limb, Upshaw. Way to go to the limb.
Well, you know what?
Hey,
there's only 3 fucking guys out there in professional sports that have spelt this name with IE. It's Mr. Scottie Pippen.
Scottie Upshaw.
It's fucking Scottie Scheffler. And it's the Updogg.
Wow.
So fuck. I mean, of course I'm going to pick him. There you go.
There you go.
Good for him.
He's so boring to watch.
His chipping is retarded. Isn't it something?
He is. Luke will text me. He goes, I was crusty on Sunday, because I put a lot of cash on Cameron Smith on Sunday.
Oh.
I tried to make up for my bets that I've already lost. So he starts birdie.
My God, yeah. Birdie, bogey.
Yeah, here we go. We're on. And then on number 3, speaking about Scottie's short game, I mean, what a chip in, and then it was just. But Loop said, I go, this guy's so fucking boring, Loops, and he goes, well, get used to it because he ain't going anywhere.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know, but and Loops goes, yeah, he's 25 going on 50. And I'm like, that's the best way to describe this guy. Married his high school sweetheart.
Yeah.
I mean, she's cute, but come on. Married a high school sweetheart? I don't know. I mean, he looked happy, but what do you think?
25 years old.
25.
I think he plays a lot like the young Jordan Spieth, kind of.
Same hairline.
Same hair. Really? Doesn't have good hair? Are they both like Texas guys? So I think he must have looked up to Spieth.
They both went to the University of Austin.
So, okay. So there's something about Spieth's game, maybe same teacher. I actually don't know.
I do know. I'm a golf nerd. So Randy Smith is their teacher.
Both of them?
Legend from Texas. Not Spieth, but he was Gentle Ben Crenshaw's teacher.
Oh, Genty.
And then he was another Texas guy that won a major. And Brandel Chambly, speaking of nerds, but he's really good at what he does on the Golf Channel. I love listening to him. I got to pull up my dictionary, though, every other word.
I thought you were going to say pull out your dick.
No, that's in the TV time.
Because you don't really ever say
commercial
dictionary.
timeout when I go to the phone, fella. Commercial pause. He said Randy Smith is so good at teaching a golfer how to use their natural
abilities, their tools.
He's like, I could go on the range and look at guys and be like, okay, that guy's coached by Butch Harmon, and that guy's coached by Ledbetter, and that guy's coached by whoever. Where this guy uses their gifts and just, I guess he's unbelievable.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Well, he's created a monster.
Yeah.
Because the guy's fucking good. What is that? 5 wins?
4 and 6.
4
You know
and 6 tournaments. He's made 11 bananas, right?
Something like that. He won 2.7 for winning the Masters.
Koepka all year last year made $7 million,
Yeah.
and this guy's made 11 so far already. Or there was someone who led the tournament. Who led?
Cantley won the FedEx
so
Cup.
it was probably
15.
Cantley.
There's 15 to win it.
Yeah.
I think Cantley last year probably won like 25 bananas all in, maybe more.
Yeah, yeah.
But you know what? I will say this. He looks like he has a great family. I joke about the high school sweetheart. She's a beautiful little cute girl. She's crying for him. It's got to feel good.
He's got kids?
I would like one day a guy to win the Masters though and come out and there's just 2 young rockets there waiting for him.
You need Graham that. You need that.
I don't know. I need like somebody that's just a bad
Graham
boy.
Dowell.
I need a bad boy of golf to come in
Yeah.
and just start winning. These guys are all too like, they're too clean. There's got to be some dirt on
You need
these
like
guys.
TD to win the thing.
We need the upshaw of the PGA Tour. We're at a couple of rockets waiting for him, taking him on the jet right
God.
to Vegas. But Uppy, you didn't put any money on him through DraftKings. What happened there? I mean,
I fucked up. Are we going milk
I
carton
listen-
already? Because
no,
I'm
no,
putting
no.
myself right on there.
we could go. We could go.
Well, listen.
Let's wait for milk carton.
Okay, because
we could do it now.
you know what? We did the pool, and the pool is so fucking hard.
Oh.
And I was in a rush. I came home from
Not
dinner at
you.
Nobu.
Not
and,
you.
fuck. And then I'm looking through and I'm thinking, is he the right pick here? Like, who I picked? Xander Schauffele. I don't even like that guy. And I picked him on my top tier pool of 8 of the best golfers.
Listen, the top tier was tough.
Tough.
I went with I took John Robb on our show last week, and another thing is I was listening to our podcast this morning. I like to listen to our intro, our rundown, just for timing and stuff like that. And you also took Cameron Smith.
I know.
I'm like, you had both the guys out. I mean, Cameron, he shit the bed, so it didn't matter. But at one point, you had the top 2 guys.
So I will tell you this. Although I didn't take him in our pool, which we did with the boys, right?
Yeah.
It was a big. I did take
Congrats,
both.
Shaddy.
Listen, I did take both those guys to win. $250 at plus 1,400 for Scottie Scheffler. That won me $2,800. That won me $3,600.
You sent me your bets.
Yeah, and then I also had Cameron Smith at $250, which would have won me $4,000. So 2 solid bets there. Although I did take John Rahm to finish top 10 minus 110 for 1,000. So I lost 1,000 there. But overall, and then I went through the mixed bag of Skittles on the whole way down, and I ended up taking these like tournament versus bets. And I had Cameron Smith playing against everybody, Obes. And he cleaned up.
You had him against the field.
Yeah, basically. I had him playing like 6 different guys, so he won those. I had DJ, had a great strong.
DJ looked good
he
for a
looked
bit.
good.
You look really good.
Talk about Rory. Rory was fucking
That,
awesome.
honestly,
what a round. That looked like the old Rory.
That was Rory McIlroy in a nutshell. Like,
Yeah.
he always starts slow, but that round was special. I was like, if he wasn't so far back here, but when those 2 bunker shots at 18, that was one of the most impressive things.
Has
I've
that
ever
ever
seen.
happened in the history of the Masters?
I
Can't.
I can't have been. I was at A&O with the boys watching it from Big, and I'm like, no way 2 guys have chipped in on 18 in the final round out of the same bunker. No chance.
Not down the stretch.
Not down the stretch.
No.
So that kind of saved my Masters week. I'm going to get back to the Masters a little bit too when we get to the milk carton Updogg. Shaddy won your pool you put together.
That's fucking.
I think
had
Shaddy.
to send him the Venmo today.
I think we
Congrats,
got
Shaddy.
Shaddy. I mean, you're the only guy making show dough.
Yeah.
I think you got to give the boys a blue light.
No, I
special
think he's
here.
going to take us to dinner. Is what he's going to do. Hey, Shaddy, we got
Shaddy.
a restaurant.
Shaddy's like, fuck you, boys. I play in California. Escrow, agent. I'm taking the cash.
2 kids.
What do you think about Tiger? Gutsy effort. Couldn't walk I saw him after the final round on Sunday. Giving his kids a hug. He could literally not walk.
I can't imagine what it's like for Tiger, but I thought it was great for the game, for the fans. I basically, before the tournament, but I was questioning whether he'd break 80. And I actually was kind of sad to say it, but I thought. And then first round, 71. Pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Pretty
the first
awesome.
round was great to watch.
Yeah, it was, right? He's back in there. He made some great shots. You could tell, like, he's getting by on just soul ability.
Course management
and just...
He was hitting it like to the right angles. And
Yeah.
flying. I'm like, this guy's just fucking...
He's
little
starting to
chess
play like
match.
old Tiger,
Yeah.
like an old fucking soul, like fucking Jack Nicklaus out there.
Yeah. So he said Southern Hills is the next major PGA where Tiger's won. He said, you probably won't see me there, but we'll see me at St. Andrews. So maybe he can. It was cool just to have him there.
Should we do a
Portnoy kind of
fellow tour at St. Andrews or something?
I've been trying to go on a golf trip with you and Lupul over there. You guys
Let's talk to Billy Quinn.
You guys are impossible to book that golf trip. I mean, you have an excuse. Numbnuts does not have an excuse.
No.
He just is impossible to plan a trip with. He goes, this is what he says, send me the courses. I go, Google the Open Championship. Let's play every one they fucking play over there.
Yeah.
We got to do it one day. I don't think it's going to happen this summer.
British Open is Father's Day, right?
It's July.
Is it July this year?
July.
Or it's the Big Canyon's member guest that we do, the Balboa. That's always
June.
on Father's Day.
June.
And it's not it's not the British Open weekend? No.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe U.S. Open.
I think it is the U.S. Open.
There we go.
It is the U.S. Open. It was good to see Tiger back. Portnoy ripped him. Said the guy's a hooligan or something.
Come on.
I love Portnoy too.
I know, but like, what's he doing?
He said, listen, what do we get
All the sex tapes he has out there, he's going to chirp Tiger? Come on, he's a guy's guy.
You're not one to chirp about sex tapes.
No shit. But like, I would never chirp Tiger. Who chirps Tiger?
I love Tiger. I think it's great. But what about this, Uppy? He said, listen, he was in a one-car accident where he was probably under the influence and crashed.
Yeah.
Why are we giving this guy, like, he came back from, like,
He's assuming he was. That's an assumption.
You know what you'd assume? You make an ass out of you and me. Right? My coach used to say that to me, some coach. But Tiger Masters is great. What a tournament. A tradition like none other, as Jim Nantz would say.
Yeah.
Hello,
Write
friends.
the intro. Hello, friends.
Wow. Hey, no amateur made the cut this year. Is that why they weren't in Butler Cabin? I was thinking about that. I don't know.
That's a good question.
to
There
look
was
that
an
up.
amateur, I think, down the stretch, wasn't there?
I don't know, but don't they usually get in Butler Cabin?
How did our boy
with-
Stu Hagelstead do?
Shot 79. Something like that
79?
the first day. It
Great
was
game.
funny. It was, you know, our tennis pro at Big Canyon, Russ?
Good guy.
Australian guy, great guy. I was swimming, we were showering up there. He's like, hey, mate, how you doing, mate? He's like, fuck, I had a good bet there yesterday. I took Stuart Hagestad against Sandy Lyle. Sandy Lyle's like fucking 60-some years old. I'm like, that would have been a good bet. I'm like, what'd Stuart shoot? He's like, he shot 79. Sandy Lyle shot 78.
Oh, no.
Nipped him by one, so.
How about Scotty's 18th hole?
Scottie.
Scheffler. The little four
my
wiggle.
God.
The four wiggle.
Wow.
That was awesome. That's just real life.
Right? I mean, it was great by the fans. They started yelling, Scottie. But yeah,
Imagine he had that. Imagine he had to make, a 3-putt to win, and he made 4. That's crazy.
Do you think he just lost concentration? Do you think if he had to make it to win, he would
I
have
think
made
he
it?
was shaking like a motherfucker.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
So
Right?
he would have missed it
Shaking
anyways?
like a fucking motherfucker.
He was
Yeah, he was nervous.
Shaking like me after the fellas tour.
I mean,
Give me an IV, Binger. Give me an IV.
You would just have to be. It's the green
Fuck,
jacket.
Euphoriactor.
Foriacle.
I don't know. Scottie. I guess I got to give this guy. How do I say his last name, Uppy?
Scheffler.
Scheffler. I guess I got to start liking this guy, but I'm not going to. MLB is back. The Blue Jays are 3-1. Updogg. I said it here, I think, last week, but on my DraftKings, I've already taken them to win the AL East and the American League. They're 3-1, and our boy Matt Chapman hit his first bomb as a Jay.
Bomb.
Yeah.
Bombardier.
They got a stacked lineup.
They got a stacked lineup.
Stacked lineup.
Our boy Lupel from Aspen yesterday was saying, Max Bet. Max Bet, DraftKings app,
Yeah.
ASAP.
They're good, man. They come out here in May, so we'll
Be a man.
We'll take in a couple games.
Take the bet. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Loops. So
I
anyway,
found my
took it.
Donaldson jersey that he got for my birthday years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? Graham Gillette joked about getting mustard and ketchup on my Jamie Donaldson,
I got to get a Chapman.
Josh
jersey.
Donaldson
I'm in a Chapman jersey.
has ketchup and mustard on it. Signed
does?
jersey. Yeah, that's how it's a game. Updogg, Austin Mathews.
Oh,
Austin Mathews fucks Updogg. There's no way about it. Let's get him with this guy fucks t-shirt.
yeah.
58 goals in 67 games. Past Rick vibe. They had a nice picture of him and Rick. Rick still looks good. The old silver fox. Nice head of hair. Great picture. Last player to get 16 a year was Stammer the Hammer.
Saw that.
He's got 58 with 10 left. I said yesterday, yeah, they got 10 left. I said yesterday he's going to get 70. I think he's going to score. I think he's going to score.
Spit my drink out.
I know, but you want to know why?
Who do they play?
Well, listen, first of all, who do they play is a great question. And second of all, so they got Buff tonight. How many is he going to get tonight? They get 2 tonight.
Yeah,
Two
yeah,
tonight.
2, so that's 60.
And they're going to Wash, and all Wash cares about is getting Ovi to break their record. He'll get 1 or 2 there, and it'll just be a track meet. At Ottawa and Hockey Night Canada. Fuck, he might have 70 by then. At the Islanders, at Philly, Tampa, Florida. Then he finishes off against Detroit and Boston at home and at Wash. It just seems like he scores every game.
He's on a tear. He's on a tear.
Fucking tear.
Mitch Marner's on a tear. Toronto's been buzzing. Peter Gurgis is fucking.
Marble's
just going off. Floors are soaking wet. We got to, yeah. You know what? Can't wait to get to TO, but let's talk about.
We might be going to TO.
How many games left? He's got 10.
He's got 12.
12 games.
No. Sorry, he's got 10 games left.
All right. When do you arrest this fucking legend?
Right after he scores 70 on Saturday night in Ottawa. Then you say, take a seat. No, because you can't rest him up, in my opinion, because of
seeding.
The stand, right? They got to be careful here. They want home ice. So they're 4 points up on Tampa, and they're 5 up on Boston. They're going to finish second in the Atlantic. So once they clinch that, maybe you rest him. But he's only 24 years old, isn't he? Like, do you need to rest him, or are you worried he's going to get hurt?
I just think, once he's got the record for the Leafs. I mean, let's talk record books.
What's the record all time in the NHL? Solani had 70 one year.
No,
right?
It's fucking 93 goals.
Oh, yeah, Gretzky. Fuck, hang in there. What's in this cup, Binger? Holy fuck, eh?
No, it's my fucking, it's the chew.
I forgot about Gretzky
the
scored 93 goals there. Hang in there, Rose.
Oh, you're talking to yourself.
Yeah, sorry, buddy. How many do you think he's going to finish with?
Realistically, I hope 69. I think that's just a great number.
Well played. It is a great number. It's the best number. It's the best number.
I think if he gets to 69, he should just start missing the net.
If he gets 69,
he should start passing.
Whoever, we got to get a 69. Start getting a Mathews 69 t-shirt going.
Yeah.
And if he scores it, we'll just start selling it even without his permission. Or maybe we can ask him. Okay, so you got 69. I got 70. I just think, man, listen, he scores every game. It's crazy. And it leads us into our first segment, Updogg, presented by our good friends at Goodlife. You're looking good in the Goodlife gear right now.
It's tarp.
I think they should hire. I think they should hire you for some Goodlife modeling. You might want to put that in their ear.
Yeah.
Goodlife segment, Hart candidates. We're gonna transition from Mathews doing some fucking, who a lot of people up here are saying this guy's gonna win the Hart. He's got 99 points. Jesus has 108 points. Draisaitl 101. Hubie Doobie Doo 104. And then you got Shesterkin and Johnny Hockey, who in my opinion aren't even going to be in there. I'm going to cross those two guys off. They're having great years, but I think it's between those four for the 3 finalist spots. But who would you pick right now if you had a vote?
It's tough to not pick the guy who's going to score 69 this year.
It is hard.
But you know what? Like leave the tandem of hockey creatures up in Edmonton just aside for a minute, because those guys are, they're always there.
They're always there.
They're too good. They're fucking awesome. They're their whole team. I want to go down to Jonathan Huberdeau here.
Hubie Doobie Doo.
Setting records, playing in Florida.
Tanning all
confident, the time. Good tan, driving a sick Ferrari. I mean, to me, he's got Barkov. It's been him and Barkov, although he plays mostly with Sam Bennett and Anthony Duclair. How do you not look at the 77 assists? I mean, he's beaten Johnny Hockey and McDavid by 11 assists each. He doesn't like to shoot. He wants to give tap-in backdoor goals to all his teammates, which he does.
Yeah.
Is he valuable for his team? Yes. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't know. I hope
77 apples is a ton. You're right.
That's a ton. If it's not Mathews, I hope it's Jonathan Huberdeau.
I will say out of the 4 guys we got right here, I don't know what Mathews is doing in Toronto, but I say Hubie has the best life of these guys.
Yeah.
I started following him on Instagram this year.
Yeah.
Fuck, he's tanning.
He's doing the uncle. He's doing Uncle Hubie right now.
Is that what it is? Not his kid?
No,
uncle?
It's Uncle Hubie.
Okay.
He's there. He's got the pool going. He's out there.
Life.
He's got the iguanas running around his backyard.
Like, you talk about Florida, and you were a great Panther, and you gave back to the community in different ways than other people. But imagine being there and being first place in the fucking NHL and being in Florida with fans. And
we got to get there.
No state tax.
We're going there.
Decente's coming to games. We got to get Decente's to a couple games. Like, you know what I mean? Like, Florida was great for you, but imagine these guys must be living it up. Bro.
Yeah, listen. Actually, let's just pause everything and book our flights right now.
Okay. Binger, book your flight, fella.
Binger, let's go, baby.
Come on, buddy. Southwest middle seat for you, fella. That's all we can afford.
We'll let you wear that Dodgers hat in Florida.
I'm going to pick Connor McDavid for the Hart Trophy. You want to know why? Because you can give it to him every year.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I think Mathews is doing some fucking. Another reason I'm giving McDavid is because I think you picked Mathews to win the Hart. You got to get Prince to dig that up. I'm pretty sure you did.
I know I'd picked him
So
for
I love
Art
you, but
Ross.
I know.
No, I
No, I
think
think
what was
you
that
picked him
for?
for
Was
the
that a
Hart,
bottle
too.
of Camo too, or
No, I hope not.
Let's just get
I bought
drunk.
20 bottles of Camus this year. I haven't drank any of them. I owe DeMarco one from Maxie's Hall Pass pool that Maxie rigged. Maxie rigged it.
Did Max win?
Guy sets it, guy wins it. I mean, we call that rigged where I'm from.
So you were giving it to
Joe
DeMarco, though?
Well, because me and DeMarco bet head-to-head who finishes higher.
Ah.
He beat me.
He came by the other day.
Yeah? Do you like the pen?
Yeah, he popped by back-to-back weekends with little Leo. Him and Leo and Izzy were hanging
Yeah,
out.
that's awesome.
His little
They'll be
guy
friends.
just loves chasing around balls and shit.
He's going to take a run at Izzy one day.
Oh, I know he was. With that hair, he'd probably get her now. Jeez. Kid's got some good flow.
Oh, you're a beauty. That was our Goodlife segment. Hart Trophy candidates. Parlays us right into Johnny Hockey. And Updogg, as much as I say he's not in the Hart conversation, I don't know why he's not. In my opinion, he's just not. 99 points. I don't think I've given this guy enough love for the bounce back year. Last year, Daryl Sutter, how much we love him, was scratching him, said he sucked defensively. There was rumors they were going to trade him. He's UFA, so I don't think he's going to end up staying in Calgary. Maybe he will. Last thing I said about a person leaving Calgary, I almost got fucking lynched. But I give him a lot of credit, Uppy, for bouncing back, coming to camp, having an unbelievable year when you're a UFA. Like, good on Johnny Hockey, man.
Hell yeah. Do you know this? Plus 54 right now.
Crazy.
54 for a guy that was known to just like kind of not back check.
Yeah,
and
no, you would never have said he's a defensive good player.
Plus 54
I know, it's stupid.
on the ice for. I mean, jeez, it's a lot of scoring chances, and a lot of just probably.
Look at this. Mario, in the last 30 years, only Vladimir Konstantinov, who was, keep your head up for him,
there we go.
plus 60. Mario was plus 55. That's it.
Yeah,
And what'd you say is 57?
he's at plus 54.
He's a UFA. I mean, do you think he resigns in Calgary? Princey's up there rubbing his balls, hoping he does, but
There's not a chance in
no,
goddamn
right?
no.
He's going to sign in Philly or Jersey.
It's tough. I mean, Philly, he'd love to. I think he'd be great with Kevin, and but there's part of me thinks the Philadelphia Flyers just don't have that reputation or track record to bounce back like they usually have.
Yeah.
I mean, so to me, maybe
Yeah.
they squeeze him in, and
I don't know. I just think with
any room in
with
Florida?
people are
Imagine
lining
that.
up to go to Florida.
No kidding.
They got to sign Weegsy baby there. They better save some money for my
What
boy
about
Weegsy.
Anaheim? What about Johnny Hockey in Anaheim?
Yeah.
Good fit here.
A lot of state tax here, but yeah, that's.
Be good for the game. Sell the game.
I think with Claude Giroux finally gone, that maybe they could spin it to Johnny Hockey. And no disrespect to Claude Giroux, he's playing great in
No,
Florida.
yeah, that's a similar player.
Yeah, this is now you come in, this is your
could
team.
be your guy,
This
yeah.
could be your guy.
Yep.
So to him, congratulations. What a year, man. I'm interested to see how the Flames, when the playoffs start for them. Mathew Tkachuck, this kid I love. We love Brady. We love their whole family. He did a pregame interview the other day on TNT. This kid's a natural. He's gonna probably make enough money that he's not gonna have to work when he's done. But if he wanted to work in media or have his own podcast or sit on that panel, he's clever. We've had him on.
Yep.
His interview was just so pure. Like a lot of these hockey guys get on there and it's just like, business trying to make them laugh and other guys, and they're like, He killed it. Started chirping talks about Walt said back in the day that you stole more assists than anybody, and then talks went back and forth. I just think that's the stuff that's great for the game ups.
I don't know if he's done it to everybody. There's a few guys out there always chincing some apples.
Always.
Hey, just like coming back. Hey, I passed you that puck. Hey, hey, guy
Touch my skate.
Come on.
Yeah, my skate, didn't it? You heard the Ryan Smith story, and you know the Ryan Smith story in Colorado,
Yeah, he
right?
took whose goal.
Preseason game. Listen to this for all you people out there that are a fan of Captain Canada, who's never even close to being Captain Canada. I hate Ryan Smith. I don't hate him, but I used to want to kill him when I played against him. Rumor has it, exhibition game, this young kid that was not going to make the team. Smith goes in that, guy shoots it, goes in. Smith goes to the ref, he hit my pants. And in preseason game. Like, come on, man.
I've heard that too with
Come on,
like
man.
him.
Come on, man.
Someone getting like their 20th or 30th goal. Or maybe it was a first NHL goal.
I heard that rumor when I played
And
Denver.
him doing the exact same
Cody
thing.
McLeod told me that.
Cody McLeod.
I respect Cody's tough guy.
Yeah, tough guy.
Like play poker on the plane. Good
Big
guy.
old nose on him.
I fought that guy a bunch in the minors, and that was his teammate. He's a great guy, actually. Talk about bringing energy before every game, Cody McLeod.
Yeah.
And talk about a guy like the lockout year, Uppy, we were so bad, and like I gotta be honest, it was the only year I was probably checked out. He was still right down to the bitter end, like fired up, screaming and yelling. I'm like, wow, this guy loves it. So, Mathew Tkachuck, you're great for the game. Keep it going. Sticking with the Flames, Updogg. Goody, our former teammate, and Blake Coleman, who I love. The other day, they got in a good old-fashioned practice. Like, it would have been a fight, but the boys got in there. I loved it. First place, I loved it.
When you say you love Blake Coleman, what do you love about Blake Coleman?
I love his compete level. I love that he finishes his check. Okay. I love that he plays a 200-foot game.
So you'd have him on your squad any day.
100%.
Okay.
I don't know if I would have given him the contract Calgary gave him, but he won two back-to-back Stanley Cups and got that deal.
Yeah. Very effective player and a winner. You can't say that, but seems like a guy I'd want to probably fight in practice too.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. I don't think he was coming.
And Goody doesn't fuck around. Like Goody's
a killer.
Dumb strength. Yeah, like he doesn't even know how strong he is.
Goody's like killer tough.
He's killer. Yeah. He's killer tough.
Yeah, he's killer tough.
That'll get the boys going.
Yeah, so I loved it. I just thought a first place team, like if you're a last place team, you're looking at it and being like, fuck, those boys are fighting in practice.
Yeah.
And we're in, 28th here. Like,
yeah. We're just trying to golf. And these guys are going to kill us.
We're going to play Calgary. They're fighting each other. Oh,
yeah.
Man. I got a bad groin. Our boy Daryl Sutter had a great quote. It's good. It's a contact sport. We need some more guys like this. This one's great, Uppy. Those two guys that are out there banging each other, those are two bangers. We need some of the guys who are pillow fighting to do a little bit more of that. I mean, this guy.
Legend. Yeah. And he's right. You get off the couch. Stop pillow fighting. Fucking get out there and mix it up.
He would have prolonged
Punch someone.
I think Sutter would have liked me. I'm going to go out on a limb and say
you would have been a good LA King.
Oh, I don't know.
Huh?
Too many distractions.
I just had to keep you on the beach.
I would have been up in those
hills. No going into the hills.
Oh, I would have been in those hills the whole time. Flames keep her rolling. Goody Coleman. We love that shit here at Missin Curfew. A little tidbit I found out. Bob Murray got hired by the Flames.
Uh-oh.
I hope he's figured it out. I hope he's, if he's improved himself and he's doing well, then I believe he deserves a second chance. But if not, this is the stuff with the old boy club that fucking drives me crazy. Like,
we're living
he's out of work for what, a month?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, let the guy marinate for a bit and let him think about what he did.
I agree.
Like, I get it though. Maybe if it was, you or Loops or somebody that needed a gig, I'd maybe help them out too. I don't fucking know, but I don't know. I was just shocked that he's already back in hockey.
But how many times can they help each other out before things change?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I hear you, buddy.
Is he that brilliant of a guy? Like, does he bring a lot to the table?
I mean, he already had.
Yeah, what's Brad Treliving doing though?
I think it was Daryl that hired him. That Daryl went in because Daryl and him are buddies from Chicago days or something. Mm-hmm. And I think he went to Tree Living. What do I know? I think Daryl Sutter right now, whatever he says in Calgary goes. I think Tree Living came in this season being like,
this is my guy.
I could lose my job
and it's what he says.
Right.
I agree.
And now they're flying. So, Updogg. The one mistake Brad Tree Living made this year was put our boy Richardson on waivers. Well, Richie Baby got his first the other night for the Canucks.
How was the night after the game for that?
How fitting in Vegas. He's a Vegas type of guy. He's on the board. I mean, Richie's playing hard for those guys. It's a good pickup for him. It was just nice to see him get his first in Vegas.
I would say so, yeah.
Right?
Probably hell of a spot to get your first goal.
He went out the night before he wasn't in at 10 o'clock, I can tell you that.
100% guilty hockey.
He was playing some cards or doing whatever he was doing, right?
Yeah. Like Missin Curfew, pure guilt.
Pure guilt.
Just sweat it out, muck.
Yeah, and Richie, you know what? Since he's come back to the Canucks, I was a little concerned. Like, he's been a little bit older, obviously, injuries. And then, like, you know how it is, Uppy. If you haven't played a lot of games and you're just jumping in, it's like, fuck. But he's played well. He's buzzing. He's buzzing like his old teammate Jake Muzzin.
Yeah,
and he's winning faceoff. So Pedersen, Updogg, these numbers are better than I thought. I've been ripping this kid all year. He's got 25 goals for 56 points in 71 games.
That's a bounce back year.
It's better than I thought.
He needed it, yeah.
It's better than I thought.
Our boy Greener's maybe a little hard on him.
Greener's like, I like to know how many points he had on Greener. Not a lot this year. But yeah, Greener's like, where was that all year, fella? Are the Canucks out of it, Updogg? 80 points.
To me, I mean, you're unfortunately you're outside looking in.
Yeah, I don't think
you're on the outside looking in.
Let's look here. They got 80 points. They're 4 points behind Vegas, same amount of games. 6 points behind Dallas, and Dallas has got a game. Dallas has really shot themselves in the foot, buddy. They lost to New Jersey at home on Saturday night, 3-1. Crazy to me. So, Canucks, I like what they've done there, though. I mean,
you know why they lost that?
Why?
because the NJ Devils had their old rookie party lined up in Scottsdale.
After the game?
After the match, they flew Dallas, so they were buzzing. Nico Hischier, their captain, 200th point, 20th of the year, scores G-dub, goes in, takes the boys out to 44 Ocean, and then right to Bottled Blonde, baby.
So they were fired up for the rookie party.
They were humming.
As they should have been.
Hell yeah.
So you play in Dallas at what time? What time was the game, I wonder?
It was a 1 o'clock game.
Oh, it was? Wow.
It was an early match, and then they got in. I think they landed around 6 to the hotel, dropped the bags off, put on your best tarp.
Wow. No wonder they played good.
Right? It's the making for just to unleash the demons.
You have so much energy in those games when you know your rookie party's coming up after.
Oh,
fuck!
miss those days.
We should have bet them. That's intel. You gotta.
That's intel.
You gotta let the boys know. I would have put money on Jersey had I known they were having their rookie party in Scottsdale after the game. Shit. Updogg Eichel, 11 goals since he's returned. He's their leading goal scorer since he's been back in the lineup. Big news is Stone is back tonight. We're recording on Tuesday. He will play tonight against the Vancouver Canucks. And I don't know who the cap guy is in Vegas, Uppy, but he's earning his salary because this is how they're going to hamstring this one. They're going to put Carrier, Patrick, and their backup goalie, Brossoit, on long-term IR. So that means they cannot play from either 24 days today or 24 from when they said they got hurt. That's how long you got to stay on long-term IR. But to me, this feels like, what do you think? Kind of like
cheating.
Kind of like.
You look at the line. Yeah, you got Dananoff, Eichel, Roy, Marsha Schott, Carlson, Amadio.
So that's where Riley Smith would be if he wasn't hurt.
I know. Max Pacioretty, Stevenson, Mark Stone.
Yeah.
Man, I'd
What's
like
their fourth line?
to see Eichel, Pacioretty, and Stone play together.
Yeah. What's their fourth line?
Janmark, good fourth liner.
Yeah.
Leschyshyn.
You played against his dad.
I did.
His dad was Curtis Leschyshyn.
Oh, yeah, wow. Yeah. And then Kolzar.
Who
I thought was a centerman, but they got him on the right side.
Fuck, did Kolzar have a tough game a couple weeks ago. He went Upshaw style on Luke Shen, went in and tried to drill somebody, got absolutely drilled, then came out and fought and got fucking... I like that kid. My point being, I like that he wears 55, obviously.
Yeah.
Tough kid.
Yeah.
I'm with you on Pacioretty, Stone, Ikes. I'd like to see that too.
Just let the boys eat.
Is Vegas getting in-ups or what? I want them to get in because I'm going to a playoff game if they get in.
They got some buzz going, Obes.
I mean, Dallas helped them.
Buzz.
I mean, they're back in this. I mean, the LA Kings are in one now. Vegas has got a game in hand on them, and they're only 2 points behind. I mean, this race down the stretch is going to be unbelievable. Ikes, you're doing a hell of a job, fella. You're doing a hell of a job. Updogg, Getzlaf, we know he's retiring. Corey Perry had an interview on TNT, got emotional.
Pretty emotional.
It's pretty those guys are...
They're buddies since World Juniors, man. Go way back to the draft, World Juniors, minors, World Championships, Stanley Cup, Olympics.
When you see Perry get choked up like that, it made me choked up. I was on the couch kind of a little choked up. But they grew up together.
You know these guys, yeah.
Yeah, they grew up together. It's too bad that Paris couldn't have just stayed with Anaheim.
Yeah, they bought him out. Job Bob
Murray bought him out. Like, let's say Paris stays with Anaheim, and him and Getzey can continue to play together. I mean, I think they both still continue to play well with each other, no?
Yeah, but it probably would have stuck Anaheim in a spot where they wouldn't have been able to do the things that they, do you get Trevor Zegras? Do you get to re-sign Cam Fowler? Do you get to, keep Gibby if you're paying two guys $8.5?
Yeah.
Right? It's like, they get rid of pairs. They get the space.
No, not at $8.5 million.
Yeah.
You're right about that. I mean, so let's say Paris gets bought out. Then he went to Dallas.
He got bought out and went to Dallas, yeah.
Then maybe you bring him back. I don't know. Maybe he didn't want to come back. He probably had enough of Bob Murray and everything that was going on, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. It just would have been cool. I guess my point is how much those two...
For two guys to stay together the whole time. Have success, win awards, play international hockey together, live on the same fucking street for a while. Roommates.
Grow old together.
Yeah.
Hey, Paris, Getzey, you're both old boys. Getzey, come over. Getzey's on our side now. Come on over, fella.
Yeah, come on. Sit down here, bud.
Although Getzey had some fight left in him the other night. He almost killed that, what's his name?
Svechnikov.
Getzey was going bin and he almost hit the liney.
It looked like a young Getzlaf.
He almost hit the liney with a
I know.
big right.
Well, yeah, he wouldn't let him go.
Would have fucked up our, sweet
Don't
that
hurt
we
your
got.
hand. Yeah, don't hurt your hand, Getzlaf.
Don't get hurt before the game on the 24th, Getzlaf. We're all coming to watch you, do your farewell tour. But he snapped, Dubs.
Yeah, he did. He knows he knows that the kids, he's passing on his torch. This is going to be the last time he's going to be able to legally fight anybody.
Yeah. Get a couple more in,
Get
Getzlaf,
some
because
more
there's going to be
fights
times
in,
in your
yeah.
life where you're like, I wish I could just get this guy on the ice for about 2 seconds.
Yeah. So,
And I think a little bit up is he's going to play these last, whatever. They got 8 or 9 left. Let's say he plays 5 of them. He's going to play them the way he played his first 5, so to speak.
Yep.
Like, he's going to play hard. You want to fuck around. He's going to probably try to get one more tilt.
yeah.
He's a beauty. So
He's a beauty.
he's a beauty. So
What
Getzlaf,
can
we
we
love you
say?
here. Updogg, I was blown away last week. Minnesota, Nashville. You know how I feel about Nashville. I mean, how I feel about Minnesota. But Nashville goes in there, 4 fights.
Whew.
I mean, they
That
answer
was
the bell.
Just tilts.
Those were just like,
Yeah,
that
tilts.
Delorier's face looks like Rocky and Rocky 1. You've seen his face lately?
Oh, yeah.
He's a beauty, man. He's a beauty.
The
But
boys went and they had a little golf match at Troubadour last week.
who's that? Mini?
The mini guys. A bunch of them showed up. And that Delorier's face was just mangled. He's got the one cut. You know when you get cut and it just keeps breaking open?
When you keep
He's
getting,
got a few of them.
yeah, when you keep getting punched in the face contest, because that's how he fights now. He just stands in there. He's like, I think he's realized that I can take him better than most of these guys, so I'm gonna,
Heads up.
yeah. 'cause
That's
he
scary.
just keeps his head.
Those are
right.
the ones those are the scary guys. The ones that don't like, or that, just hit me, I'll hit you harder back.
Yeah.
Hey.
Those guys were like, I don't want to fight you. Nashville impressed me up. Listen, Roman Yossi, we know what he's doing. Nashville's right now sitting in the 4th spot in the Central, first wild card position. That showed me some character, man. Dave Poyle, John Hines, good on you guys. Your guys are playing hard for you. They go into Minnesota, the toughest team arguably in the NHL right now besides maybe Calgary, and says, fuck it. I'll fight you 4 times. Or maybe it was in Nashville, I'm not sure. But anyways.
That Hines looks like when I spoke to him at the Stadium Series game, seems like a guy they want to play for. Seems like a guy that can get the
Yeah.
guys going.
Yeah, you were shooting the shit with him for a bit.
He's
Good guy.
just a good dude. We talked about Frosty.
yeah.
Talked about his younger guys like Pekka. Anyway, to me, John Hines is a good hockey coach.
Yeah.
And fucking when you have your team knowing that they're going in to play a hard team on a Saturday, it's fucking rocks. Let's go. Get the guys going.
No,
Playoff hockey. This might who we face first, second round. Let's go.
Yeah, and we got to poke our head in their dressing room at the Stadium Series, and it seemed like they all got along great. And that, to me, showed me that not only do they have the best defense in the game right now, and Duchesne's having a great year. Dutchy, 38 goals. I got to give him love. I've been hard on him the last couple of years. 38 snipes.
38.
I just think, I don't know, they should be proud of themselves to go in there and fight 4 times like that. So, Malkin Updogg. 4 games. That was a good cross-check.
3 for the cross check, 1 for the slash. That slash was just as good.
It was a good whack.
That's the one that just makes your whole wrist go numb if it's not cracked.
Yeah.
And then Barowitsky,
That guy's a killer, too.
he's a killer. He looks like a caveman. He's taken a few punches.
It's crazy, those guys. I remember playing against him when he was young, but we met him at the Stadium Series, too, and always the guys that you think are just, like, soft-spoken, nice
I
guy.
fought him the one year when
You fought him?
Barkov's very first hockey game. He fucking smashed Barkov
Princey
open ice.
fire that fight up.
It wasn't perfect.
No, that guy's a killer.
Oh yeah, he actually probably took it easy on me. He only hit me like
He's
4
like, I don't want
times.
to fuck this up, show up. I might need to get in the club sometime. Or something.
Yeah, hey bud, I'll get you in live. Fountain Blue.
I better take it easy. Malkin 4 games, I thought that was worth it. You're right. The slash, too, was no love tap. It was a fucking 2-hander. And then he cross-checked him right in the lips, cut him.
4 games, well worth it.
I'm all for physical play, but you don't need to be cross-checking guys in the face.
I think Malkin's like, just leave me alone.
Yeah.
Like he's that type of guy. He's getting old too, but he still brings it. But he's
He's
just an
always
angry,
played with a little,
angry Ruski. Like,
like,
don't
look
fuck
out.
around. Yeah.
You see Crosby punched out on Saturday night. He got fucking just suckered him right with glove on.
Oh, nice.
Glove on. Like we talk about a lot. Punch the guy with your glove
Hurts.
on. It hurts.
But you're not gonna
and
get
you're not
saucy.
going to get suspended, and you're not going to get kicked out if you just drill him with your glove on.
Fucking good
So,
tip.
Yeah, good tip.
Hey
And then-
guys, pay attention.
I used to love drilling guys with my glove on. Like, come here, I'll
it
fucking
hurts
drill
more
you as
than-
hard as I
yeah.
can. Yeah.
2-2 when he hit that robot
Oh,
on.
my
Did
God.
we put that out there yet?
You got suspended for that, though, right? Did you get suspended for that?
I don't know.
That was one of the hardest punches. What was Robodog thinking? He comes in 100 miles an hour like this and
Oh,
toots left, short left. That was unbelievable. Yeah, Princey put it up last week. So, Sid, I like it. Glove on. Keep it 1,400 points for sit-ups.
Wow. Yeah.
It's impressive, bro. It's impressive. You were talking about some young guys making their debut tonight. The Buffalo Sabres have missed the playoffs for 11 straight years. It's an NHL record.
11 years ago, we had a Sprinter van and we were going to Bonnaroo every
Yeah,
day.
you were on your way to Bonnaroo. You got traded from Princey. Put this in, Princey. Good job. You got traded from Arizona to your favorite team, Columbus. And I was in Vancouver, wishing I was probably going to Coachella for at least one night, and then go back.
But you were playing the Blackhawks in the playoffs.
Playing the Blackhawks in the playoffs. So that's where we were in 2011. Updogg, we've talked about Buff a lot. Owen Power plays tonight. This is Tuesday night.
You like this kid?
I love this kid. I think he's going to be like the next Hedman. Pronger and Hedman put together.
Wow.
Well, because Pronger's not Canadian, right?
Does he got a streak like Weber or a streak like Parayko?
We're going to find out.
That's the telltale sign.
Let's hope it's like Webb's.
If it's like Webb's, this guy could be winning. He could call his kid little Mr. Norris, Chuck Norris.
Thank you, Chuck Norris. Great point, Uppy. If he plays with a little piss and vinegar, I would love him even more. And I said this yesterday, and I want to get your opinion. I think it's easier for him to jump into the NHL than it was even for Victor Hedman.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I remember I was in Philly when Victor Hedman came in.
Yeah. Like
And it took him a while. Guys ran him.
That's what I mean. There were still guys in the league that wanted to take Victor Hedman's head off. Owen Power is not going to have to deal with that.
It's too bad he's not going to make the playoffs.
Who, Owen Power?
Yeah, like it's too bad that this is just like a 10-game
8
little
games he's got,
skit.
9
8
games.
games.
So it doesn't count. It doesn't cost him an entry-level deal because he doesn't play 10. He's from Scarborough. Or no, he's from somewhere in Ontario, like close to Toronto. I don't think it's Scarborough. It's on the other side. Mississauga maybe. Or,
Yeah.
He's playing the night in Toronto, his first game.
Wow.
Buck it off. Get the gum flying. Likes to chew the gum. How many tickets? He's going to lose money today playing there. I bet he loses money tonight playing that game. How many
Mathews
tickets?
might get 4 tonight if he's out there. If this kid's out there.
This kid's good. You should watch that game.
Yeah,
tonight.
but he's gonna fumble fuck a few things. Playing in Toronto first game, he's gonna have a tough one out there.
He's going to be nervous?
He's gonna have a tough one.
Okay. So we're hammering the Leafs or what?
So, yeah, it's probably minus 300.
It's more than that. I looked at it. It's like minus 420 or something.
Yeah, he's.
Or
gonna
maybe I
have
just said 420 for Binger in the booth there. Hey, Binger.
It's gonna be a tough one.
Listen, I love this Owen Power. For fans of Buffalo, 11 years, that's a long time. I think this kid, get a goaltender too, Buffalo, right? You got Owen Power coming in now. You know, Tage Thompson's been good. Alex Tuck's been a good pickup.
Yep.
You got Middleton. Skinner rejuvenated himself. No disrespect to Craig Anderson. Go out and sign a goaltender in the offseason that you can build around and build with Owen Power and Darlene. I don't know. The problem is, Uppy, is they're in the Atlantic Division. And let's say next year, Florida's going to be good. Toronto going to be good. Tampa's going to be good. Detroit's going to be better. Boston's going to be good. You know, and then the Metro, Carolina, New York, Pitt, they're not going anywhere. Like, it's going to be hard for them to – it's going to be a couple more years, I think, before we see them in there.
Yeah, Buffalo minus 435. The Leafs tonight. Is that the biggest line you've ever seen in a hockey game?
I lost the minus 400 line last year. Washington Capitals against the Buffalo
Here's another
Sabres.
one. Minus 435. Florida Panthers over the Anaheim Ducks. Whew. What's our boy Zegras? Zegras had a nice goal the other night.
Yeah, he's playing
A little
well.
spinorama.
He wants some fella hats. Did you get him a fella hat?
Yeah. The box is on its way.
Perfect. He's dying for a fella hat.
Is he going to ride around with his tarp off and just go backwards style?
He's got a lot of upshell in him. He had his fucking tarp off driving his X6, I think
I
it
might have
was.
to just give him the Bronco to drive around for a bit. See what kind of damage he can do in that thing.
You tell him he can drive the Bronco if he comes in the studio and talks to the
Yeah,
players.
100%.
And then he can take the Bronco all night.
I'll let him take it to the last game,
He might do it.
right? Take the Bronco up
He
to
might pull. He
fucking
might pull a
55.
groin getting up in that fucking.
Hey, kid. Oh, he's going to take the Bronco.
He's a good kid, man. He's a beauty. He wants to play golf with the boys. I'm going to take some money off on the course, though. I'm going upshell on him.
Plays a big draw.
Does he?
Yeah, big draw.
Is he a lefty or righty?
He's a lefty.
Oh, I like the Updogg. Wow.
Yeah.
He tried the fucking Michigan again. You see that the other night? He tried it again.
Yeah, well, almost went in on Freddie. It's against Freddie.
Yeah, again.
It's just like he can go around the net top speed and put that on his
How
twig.
easily he does it. Yeah. And this one was in traffic. This one wasn't against a shitty team. This one was he came out of the pile and the puck was kind of flump and he just went whoosh, whoosh. like I've never seen. I'm like, wow, this kid. We got to stop calling it the Michigan. Just call it the Zegras. Too,
It
by
is
the way.
the Zegs
It's
now.
the Zegras.
100%.
No more Michigan. It's the Trevor Zegras.
I agree.
Right?
Change it.
Princey, post that clip, put it out there. It's the Zegras now. Updogg, our next segment is brought to us by our good friends at Canada Dips. My lip boomer's still sitting good.
Mine, I almost launched it on the floor almost.
That's not bad. I mean,
I'll take another.
Hey. I've been sitting here for 44 minutes, and my lip boomer is still in there.
Still juicing?
Canada Dips, this is just called in and out, like your lip bumpers. Put them in, put them out. Who's in, who's out? We've got some teams that have clinched. Carolina, Rangers, Florida, Toronto, Colorado. And then Updogg, we got some people that are calling Billy Quinn and asking if they can use a sick pad and cobble.
Yeah.
Because they done.
They're
going to Mandela.
Oh, I love that bar.
We got to get down there, man.
Nowhere bar.
We got to get down there.
When do you want to go?
What are we waiting for?
Let's go tomorrow.
Tomorrow. I
After you get off.
I could go tomorrow. I gotta be back Thursday. I gotta be back Thursday though. We got to go to Cobble before playoffs. Maybe we deserve it. It's been a long year.
I agree.
Quinter, we got to come. We're coming to Cobble. Come on, buddy. He actually invited us.
Can we go? Let's go.
So these teams are going to Cobble. They're texting the Updogg to see if they can get Mandela. Islanders. Are the Islanders officially out? I don't think so, Princey.
Maybe we go with the Ducks when they go.
Columbus is out. Philly's out. Jersey, Montreal, Ottawa, Buff, Detroit, Chicago, Arizona.
This is hilarious.
San Jose and Seattle. I don't think Anaheim's officially out, nor are the Islanders officially out. But the rest of those teams are done like dinner.
Vancouver and Winnipeg are one punch away. They're just a kick in the nuts away from being done. One kick in the nuts and you're done.
So, Updogg, take us in those dressing rooms, those teams right now.
Yeah.
I've been there. I'll tell the story.
Just don't get hurt.
We had guys in Denver talking about going to Vegas, and I wasn't one of them. I was going to Vegas, but I had it on the back burner with me and P.A. Pronto. We're going to sit in with, I think, Collins or somebody. And anyways, guys start talking about Vegas. We lose a game, and Jiggy, I love Jean-Sebastien Giguère. He loses his mind, goes to the media. He's like, we got more guys talking about fucking going to Vegas than we do winning hockey games. And I'm like, as soon as I heard him say it, I'm like, who do you think this is coming at? Next day, I got a fucking Joe Sacco's like, are you arranging a fucking trip to Vegas already? I'm like, no, Joe, I'm not. I'm not going to tell you who is, but do your fucking homework instead of blaming the guy that, I mean,
I'm going,
but I ain't going with these five. I'm not going anywhere in this dressing room. I got one guy in there I'm going with to try to do some damage. But point being, like, you still got to be a pro, right, Ups?
100%.
And plan your shit.
Yeah.
Without not in the dressing room.
No, I know. It's just no one's in a good mood come the time you officially knocked out. Now, come the last game, it's summer's around the corner. You know, your paychecks aren't coming in and again. Like
that sucks.
That sucks. But
that sucks.
The last game, you kind of got to enjoy it, right?
The last game, you play hard.
Well, you know what, guys, we sucked this year, but like we gave it our, let's just say we gave it our best. We played hard for each other. Let's go fucking battle one more time. Spoil something if we can. Like, it's nice when the games mean something down the stretch.
Big time.
It's nice if you can, play that spoiler and, like, your buddies from back in Toronto, you're playing the Maple Leafs and they're like, fucking going to get home ice if they beat you, and you sting them,
Sting them.
So it's nice to play that.
That's how you got to play the spoiler.
Yeah, but it sucks. Like, the trainers aren't happy. They don't get playoff tips. The coaches might get fucking canned. They're not happy. The GM, like, he's got to have all those one-on-one meetings with the guys before they do their Vegas or Cabo trip. They're pissed. It's like, it sucks.
Yeah, and then if you're on a one-year deal, you're like, there's no way I'm coming back.
No, there's no chance. You start calling guys.
Call your agent, be like, where can you get me a job? Because I'm in one here. They're not bringing anyone back. Except for the guys.
It's almost even hard to think, but, like, you got to play those last few games hard because it's, you never know. A couple Hatties.
The joke was on me, too, that year because, I'm like, whatever. I got 2 more years left on my deal. I'll be all right here. And speaking of Cabo, me and you were in Cabo, and it was right down to the bitter end of the buyout period. I don't know if you remember this. We flew into John Wayne, and I'm like, fuck. Me and you got on the plane to Cabo, and I'm like, Updogg, I must have dodged a bullet here. And as I landed, it was like Steve Kotlowitz, like voicemail. I was like, Joe Sakic. I'm like, fuck.
Sakic or Sacco?
Sakic. Oh. Joe Sakic bought me out. They hired Patty Waugh. They fired the GM I got. So point being, you got to play hard right till the bitter end, unless you're a superstar maybe, but,
Yeah. No.
What a trip that was to Cabo me and you had that time, though.
Was that when we Diamante?
Me and you just went down, me and you to meet up with Quinter and
some
people.
Right.
Yeah, it was fun. Tooch was there, I think. Was Tooch's bachelor party?
Probably.
Yeah, it
was
fun.
the first time we ever,
No, that was the first time we went.
First time we ever met the boys in Cabo.
Yeah,
it was Tooch's bachelor party.
This was maybe we just went down.
Submarine. Remember the submarine?
Oh.
The Yellow Submarine.
Yeah. I think this time we just went down to see Younger. Was Younger down there for something?
He's always down there.
Yeah, it was a good time. So,
what up, Younger?
So those teams, enjoy your time in Cabo. Mandela. Text Uppy. Retro jerseys up, dog. I saw the Jets the other night playing. It's been a shit year for them. They're going to miss the playoffs. But their third jerseys with the blue, white, and red, I like it. Bring them back. Bring back the old school tarps. I think it's time.
It was like Papa Steen days.
Yeah, exactly. Those
Dale Howardchuk.
Love it. Rest in peace.
Hey?
Yeah,
Team
I love
Tempo
it.
Numinen.
Teemu Solani.
Tempo Numinen.
Bring back those ones. The new ones haven't worked.
They stink.
I get it. It's time to go back to come on.
That airplane. Yeah. Man, like Winnipeg's a great town when they're winning. Like that barn just rocks. It's smaller, great playoff atmosphere.
It's such a
tough
hard barn
building.
to play in. Bring back those jerseys. Updogg, a little note here from Princey. Edmonton is ditching the orange home and dark blue shoulders on the white aways and going back to the royal blue colors they used in 2016.
Huh. Doug Waite style?
I don't know what that is.
And they are bringing back the 2002 oil drop. Third jersey is their retro
2016
reverse.
Oilers. I don't know which one these are.
Huh.
Anyways, the Oilers.
This is like the.
Oh, yeah. These ones.
Show me.
If it's these ones.
Show me.
Show me. If it's these ones, I'm all in. Those are the ones.
And dark blue shoulders on the whites. And going back to royal blue colors. Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
That's the one. They should never have changed from that.
No. Grant Fuhr, Marty McSorley.
Yeah, that's their glory.
Charlie Huddy.
Maybe they'll think that'll get them back to the promised land. Charlie
pried her legs open at the game.
So I think that's a good call by the Oilers. Jets fans, hang in there. I mean, they were supposed to be good this year, Ups, but the milk carton presented by our good friends at DraftKings. Updogg, we touched on it. I'm putting the Masters weekend. I'm putting the Masters the whole week on the milk carton because I complained to Binger and Maxie at our podcast last week. I didn't get to watch enough live at the Masters.
I know.
Couldn't watch Tigers Thursday because I was working. Friday, I watched a little bit of it. Saturday was cold and rainy. Tigers slashed it. Sunday, besides Rory, I don't know, Updogg.
It was a tough one.
It didn't fulfill. I'm not for you. You picked every goddamn
one. Well, I picked him, yeah, but I'm on the milk carton because this wasn't Scottie Scheffler that fucked up this weekend. It was me. I would have won at least 9 huge ones, bananas, if I picked him in the pool because no one did.
No one did.
And it was my guy. I mean,
he's your guy.
Man.
I know.
Updogg missing in action.
So we got the Updogg on the milk carton and the Masters week on the milk carton.
But I did not forget one thing, which we'll talk about in a second.
Yeah. So real quick, shout out to Princey. He's killing it for us, boys. He's earning that big raise that he got. Guys, highest paid social media guy in the world, I think now. Hey, he might be the highest paid social media guy in the world. I'm just.
Yeah, he's got more jobs than me.
He's got more jobs than all of us. But he's killing it for us. I mean, that video he found of me playing golf in Dalewood in Cobourg, Ontario.
Saw that.
That was hilarious.
Young O'Brien.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. I mean, I know I'm not skinny now.
Your hair's still good.
I know I'm not skinny now, but that picture there, I don't know what people were talking about fat. I was looking fucking pretty lean. I thought.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Pretty lean.
That was probably late August, right before camp.
Yeah, that was
ready to rock.
I was going into Camp Tortorella.
Wow.
I was ready to rock.
It was salad and low protein. Remember the one diet you went on there where you had like one piece of protein?
I tried to do that every year.
One piece of protein for a month.
Yeah, I had to do it every year.
Going in.
Updogg, your after hours thing on Hockey Night in Canada was hilarious. You told the Mitchie story. That was great.
Oh, yeah.
That was great.
You were there for that.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
I was really hot in that interview. I remember DeBrus looking at me. He's like, "You're crazy. You got that sweater on?" I'm like, "Fuck, I didn't know the lights would be shining on us like this." It was glowing.
Yeah, Louis built like myself, too. He doesn't want the hot lights.
I know what you felt like in Vegas at that NHL live shot.
I never knew you did the after hours. Is that the only time you've done it?
Yeah.
That's cool. I never got to do that.
It was awesome.
Scott Oak.
Yeah, I remember seeing Bob Cole before the game.
Yeah.
Every time I'd see that Bob Cole, and shout out to him for getting that honored award.
Yeah.
This past week for CBC, all the work he's put in, legend, Newfoundlander, great play-by-play guy, one of the best of all time. Saw him in the dressing room. Scott Oak came in, and Scott Oak's from Newfoundland too. So we got to shoot the shit about that, and he asked me about my family and growing up, and anyway, it was a great thing. So thanks, Princey, for finding that and putting it out there.
It was kind of coincidence that you brought up Bob Cole last
week
to Heels.
To our boy Healy.
And then the video of Mitchie with the long stick. I was there in Vancouver. So Keenan.
Do you remember that?
Keenan goes out in the media. We played home and home with them. Keenan, after the game in Vancouver, they're talking about Willie, like us shutting down, them not getting anything again. He's like, well, fuck, look at Willie Mitchell out there. He's using an illegal stick. It's longer than it should be. It's like, blah, blah, blah. Like, and so Mitchie, we're flying the next day. And when we flew to Canada teams, there's this little bar by the airport that we could go and have a beer before. We didn't have to clear customs or security or anything. So Mitchie's like, you want to meet at the bar? So we're meeting at the bar to have a couple before the bird. And he's like, I said, or he said something about Keenan. I go, what are you going to do? He's like, I got an idea. You're going to love it. I can't tell you right now, but you're going to love it. So he didn't tell anyone. And then we're getting ready to go right out for warm up. And out the trader comes out with this fucking 2 twigs. The fucking thing is this long. And the whole boys are dying. And we let him go first. So he's out there with the long twig. And then he waited till Keenan came out to see it. And then he went to his normal stick. But it was
so good.
It was
the
typical.
picture is legendary. Oh. It's actually one of the coolest warm-up videos or pictures ever.
Mitchie, man, he's one of the best. You know that.
Fuck, is he great.
Forget that little bar in Vancouver by the airport. A couple cold ones you get on there with half a buzz. It was nice.
Have we circled back with the Roxy owners or what? Are we
Peter Gurgis says he's in. He wants to do it. We got to get some investors, though, probably.
That's all right. That's done. We could raise money for that in a day.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Or half a day.
Something we got to look into.
I wonder how much they want for that. I bet they want $1 million.
We'll build a studio in the back, too, so we can do our Missin Curfew podcast a couple times a month up there.
Honey, we're moving to van.
We're moving to van, maybe. So, Princey, great job on the social clips. That stuff's amazing. DraftKings top titty.
I got in there.
Thank you to Max. Max sent me the link. I was making the turn at Big. Had I not seen it, I would have missed it. I was worried about my score. It was so hot out there. I was hungover. I drank so much sake the night before. Shot 82. Didn't make a birdie. Won some money, and then Tom Doherty said, we're not paying on my birthday. I won like $400 off of Manchester.
You let that fly?
Well, Manchester bought
dinner the night before.
Yeah, so I figured, why not?
Is that why he didn't want to?
I don't know. He was drunk. Tom was drunk and feeling the love.
He had 5 buttons undone on his shirt.
Every time he made a birdie, I told him I'd take a button down. He birdied 2 of the first 4 holes. It was down by his belly button.
Nice tarp.
Great tarp. DraftKings top titty. The winner. Updogg. What is that? Froyo? Ifroyo.
That is Ifryo.
143 points. Binger. Wow, Binger. You really turned into a hockey nut. 6th.
Buddy, 6 points off.
Princey.
Not bad.
Maxie's back.
Not bad.
Updogg beat me. That's when you got to go back to the drawing board, boys. When the Updogg dips you, you got to get back to the drawing board. A-Hall, you got to respect A-Hall's effort.
72 and a hook.
Yeah, 99, the great one. Good week. Congratulations to the winner. 111 entries. I'd like to get that up a bit up. I don't know how we're going to do that.
No, we got to pump it out more.
This week, Islanders, Canadians, Jets, Panthers, quiet night. And then we got the DraftKings lock of the night.
How many more weekends of hockey do we have left before playoffs start? Is there 2 weekends or 3?
It goes right to the end of April.
So that's 2 weekends.
Yeah, I think
we have Easter weekend coming up. And then the next weekend after that's the 27th, 28th.
Yeah.
And does playoffs start on the 4th, 5th?
I believe so.
Okay.
I believe so.
Maybe we bump up the ante on the old DraftKings account.
Yeah, we need some more players in there. I don't know. We got to do something for playoffs. Get a little more buzz.
Let's get a $10 banger going.
How do we do that? Who do we talk to about that?
Can we make a $10 entry?
We'll talk to Kyle, see what we can make happen.
Yeah, let's do it.
DraftKings lock of the night. Updogg,
Finish the
15-3. Flames over the Crackheads. I had Vegas over Coyotes. Updogg, you're 15-3. I'm 12-5. I go first. Can't take Vegas. Oh, Updogg, what do you think here, bud? Who am I going to go with? No, it's me first there, fella. I'm going to take the LA Kings over the Columbus Blue Jackets. The Kings need points badly up here. They need points badly.
Couple great games
They're
here.
in one. There's some real
games.
Hurricanes Avalanche, real nice matchup.
Yeah. Golden Knights Oilers,
real nice matchup.
Wild at Blues.
Toilet Bowl. You got
Penguins at Boston.
You got Flyers versus Sabres. Only relatives will watch that game. Right? That's the old relative game.
That's the Toilet Bowl.
Your mom and dad, your girlfriend, and your grandma. Other than that, no one's watching that fucker.
I'm taking Jets at Lightning.
Jets at Lightning. You're taking the Jets.
No, I'm taking the Lightning.
Oh.
Come on.
Whoa.
Hey, come on, Coop. Get the boys going, Coop.
Lightning. DraftKings lock of the night. Updogg, I don't think I'm going to catch you. I really
15-3. No, I'm done.
I don't think
I beat you.
I wouldn't say done yet, but.
Oh, you only got 2 weekends left.
Well, no, we're going to keep her going in the playoffs, aren't we? Or how's that
I think we got to fucking, no, we maybe double down if you want, but this is a regular season.
Okay. Wow. We might have to pick. I need a chance. We might have to pick 2 next week then. I need a chance.
Want to pick 2 right now? Let's pick 2 right now. You got 2
All right,
more weekends left. 2 now,
bud.
2 next week.
My pick, bud.
Double it up. Let's put another bottle of wine on there.
I want to drink some of this Camus to actually buy here.
Yeah, we will.
Don't you guys order?
Wait
you owe us something.
Hey, I got the.
Whoa! You 2 little beauties back there. Didn't we win the Olympic gold medal?
Yeah, we got a bottle of Crown sitting on deck for you after the season. We'll pay our debts when the season's over.
Okay.
Wait, we won the Olympic gold?
Canada.
The Olympics.
Remember we had her on, Aaron?
Oh, for the women.
For the women.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It was women,
You guys owe
right?
us.
Yeah, it's the women's.
I'm thinking, fuck.
Olympics.
What is it? Was I fucking on Mars?
What
when
was
the
I
men-
doing in Aspen there over the holidays?
Was I on Mars when the men won the fucking Olympics?
So we're taking 2, bud? We're taking 2, bud.
2. And
I'm
you get
taking
to
the
go again.
Dallas Stars at home against the San Jose Sharks.
Wow. How did you let the Leafs at Senators fly? I'm taking the Leafs.
Didn't even see it.
All right.
Didn't even see it. Come on, Brady Tkachuk. Sens might beat him that night. Sens played good against him at home.
Matthew's going to get his fucking 70th goal, though.
He might get his 70th that night. So, Updogg, always love doing the rundown with you, fella. We got an in-studio guest coming at you. It's opening day baseball season. We got our boy, legend, Olympic gold medalist, threw a no-no at Yankee Stadium.
No, baby.
Jimbo Abbott coming at you.
Fella, friends at Goodlife, back at it again. I'm looking online, and I just signed up the other day, actually, the T-shirt club. T-shirt club. I did once a month. I got a scallop V showing up every month, 1 hoodie, and a couple fresh white tarps, because I like white tarps.
So I just signed up for that too. That sounds exactly up my wheelhouse.
Yeah, they come once a month.
Look at these shorts.
Just chalk it up like it's another fucking internet bill. Yeah. 120.
Look at these shorts.
Chalk it up.
Stretch corduroy shorts. Might be a little warm for me. But
No,
they
I
look
got the
nice.
corduroy shorts.
Are
I'll
they
tell you
nice?
right now, they're a little tight.
Ooh, then they're not for me.
They're a little tight. Good thing I fucking got the chicken legs going.
Look at this spring. I clicked on it and said spring arrivals. I like that. It means summer's coming. Look at this little wife beater, or what do we call it? Tank top's a proper term for it. Tank top. Hey, wife beater's probably not. Tank top. Updogg, I think you could pull off this tank top here, bud.
I won't mind a new tank. I might go to Coachella in a couple weeks, so maybe the tank's kind of the play. But
I agree.
I also like the for her on here because I'm all about Easter and this time of year. It's all about giving. They got some quality green. I like the green shirts. I like the pink.
Dude, they got a Goodlife trucker hat here that you need to get. Goodlife Leisure Club. It says
truck
New
daddy?
York. It's a perfect truck hat. I can't wear trucker hats, but you might want to put that in your next little order.
So, listeners, we are giving a special edition again today with our code for goodlifeclothing.com is what, Mr. O'Brien?
Curfew.
It is curfew. That's for you folks in the US of A and also Canada. Make sure you Canadians who don't know that you're able to get Goodlife clothing up in Canada now.
Snow's melted. Spring. You guys that golf are going to be out there after the golf round. Throw a nice Goodlife tarp.
I'm telling you what.
I do
Get
it
the
every
fresh
Friday.
white tarps because you can't have the mustard and ketchup like Obi's Donaldson jersey
Or the
on.
beers you
just
guys
can't.
spill on you up there, eh?
Just can't do it. So spill on it, throw it away. If it's fucking greasy, get a new one. Our friends at goodlifeclothing.com.
DraftKings, baby. The basketball and hockey seasons have reached their second halves. And what better way to get in on all the action but with DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports. Claim your free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes when using code CurfewKings during signup. Playing daily fantasy hockey is simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. Basketball fans, you can feel the sweat like never before. Every dunk, steal, assist means so much more with DraftKings daily fantasy lineup. With DraftKings, payday comes every day for players. So what are you waiting for? Head to the app now. Download the DraftKings app now and use the code CurfewKings during signup. This week's DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. That's code CurfewKings, and you can get a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details. Welcome back to Missin Curfew. Updogg. We got our third in-studio guest.
Best looking.
One of our boys, one of our golf buddies, Jim Abbott. Jimbo, thank you so much for coming in here, buddy.
Obi, Uppy, I've been excited all day to come in here, see the studio, and talk to you boys about a wide variety of things, and this is really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to get a nice bottle of wine for you and stuff like that, but I figured you probably had some stuff to do the rest of the day, and I got to play pickleball at 4:30, so I was like, I don't want to get too tuned up in here.
And we didn't
Jimbo.
want to make this on a Wednesday or Friday. We know Jimmy likes to get his golf games in.
Yeah.
And Sunday mornings, Sunday morning Jimmy special.
Sunday morning, Sunday fun day is our game. And,
You love the Sunday fun day.
Yeah, I'm glad to see you taking that pickleball game real serious, Obi. Wouldn't be the first time you had a glass of wine before you went out there, would it?
No, that's true. But when you play pickleball, your biggest concern is don't get hurt.
Yeah,
for golf.
rolling ankles,
For
calf.
golf,
A lot of
like-
calf injuries.
Ask Dennis Shannon. Dennis Shannon blew his quad out, I think, from the one game he played.
Dennis is a whole different discussion, isn't he?
We could do a whole podcast on Dennis Shannon, couldn't we?
Denny.
Or just the membership alone at Big Canyon. Like the guys that we sit around the tables with after golf. Could be a full round table discussion on this podcast.
Yeah, how did you get into Big Canyon? How did you meet people there or whatever?
I was introduced. Well, when I was playing baseball for the Angels. I played out here in Anaheim, and I was offered an honorary membership over at Newport Beach Country Club before our friends took over there, and they were going to rebuild your new home, the Balboa Bay Club. And they decided they didn't want any more honorary members over there, so I was the first one on the list that was kicked out of there. So then I had a friend, JT Snow. Who played here with the Angels and then went up to the Giants, and he was over there, and he invited me over to play, and I really loved it. Had a good time. Had a couple other baseball friends, Greg Olson, and it was cool. First time I ever played there. Saw Tiger Woods playing right in front of us, and I've loved it ever since, and it's been great having you boys.
It's a pretty special place. I remember the first time I went on a member guest day with Lou Welsh. Who's an absolute legend. We talk about Lou on this podcast a lot. It's just Obi and I had lived in Newport, as hockey guys. Came here every summer. Obi played for the Ducks. We never even knew Big Canyon existed, and how special it was. We'd known Brendan Welsh for a long time. Brendan kept saying, "You guys got to come play with me and my dad, this and that." And then I just remember the first time kind of coming through the gates and how special the membership is with the guys, and how great the greens were, and how stiff the cocktails are, and just when you get in that in the clubhouse after with the guys, it's like the best happy hour in Newport Beach. It's by far the best place you could be to sit around, watch either baseball game or hockey game, playoff time. Sitting around that clubhouse is pretty great.
And Jimbo, it was a lot like you trying to find the studio here today. You talk about Big Canyon. I didn't know it was there either. Like, I went for my first round there, and someone's like, "Here's the address" or whatever, and I'm like at Fashion Island being like, "There's no fucking way there's a golf course here," or whatever. And then boom, you see the gates, you go in, and it's definitely a special place, that's for sure.
Yeah,
But
and the best thing happened.
I love the boys that play the Sunday Fun Days. They send out the text Friday after the game. They're like, "Sunday Fun Day, boys." I'm like, "You boys are," I'm like, "Can I text you tomorrow afternoon and let you know maybe on the Saturday?" But I don't make the Sundays, do I, Jimbo?
No, your attendance rate. You may commit to it, but you hardly ever show.
Jimmy,
might be in one on a Saturday night.
Jimmy, we're the only two lefties in the club.
I know.
How crazy is that?
It's nice having a fellow lefty that we don't get to compare.
Couple northern guys,
Right,
Michigan,
right.
Alberta.
I love it. I love it. Fort Mac.
That's right. That's like the Flint of Canada.
Yeah, it
It's like the
stinks
Flint,
whenever.
Michigan.
Is it really?
It's a working town, hard-working, blue-collar town. A lot of good, hard-working folks up there earning a life for kids to, chase their dreams, play sports, be competitive with each other,
Drink.
A
lot of drinking in Fort
There's been
McMurray.
he's been up there.
Yeah.
A little chilly, Jimmy.
Coldest
Yeah,
I've
I
ever
bet.
felt. Jimbo, coldest I've ever felt.
Is that right?
Actually, we did a social media clip of Uppy went up there to get his junior B jersey retired. So we were in playing the Oilers. He's like, "I got a King Air, jump on it, come up." I had a little pea jacket on and some Nikes or whatever. I got off that bird. It was, what was it, minus
45.
minus 40.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Celsius.
Whoa.
And I mean, I think it gets the same at 40 or whatever.
That's
but
crazy.
It gives your balls a ton.
Oh,
Jimbo,
crazy.
now that we're on golf, let's talk about you like playing golf, because it's obviously so impressive. Like, how did you pick the sport up? Was it when you were playing ball or before you started? Because it's impressive how well you hit it.
Well, thanks, bud. I like everything. I was born missing my right hand. For those who may not be familiar with my story, and so that's just kind of the way I learned to do things growing up. It was the way I was born. I never made a big deal about it, really. And I probably would have been a much different situation had I had to, if I lost a hand or something and had to figure out, all over again. Yeah. But it's really all I've ever known. So my whole life has sort of been a way of making these adaptations and being a little bit creative and doing things differently. And I played baseball differently. And then I started to get near the end of my career, and all my baseball friends were golfers. And I figured if I wanted to hang out, like you said, and hang out at the 19th hole, which I do best anyway, I better learn how to swing the club. So I was invited to a charity tournament by a mentor pitcher, a guy named Bert Blyleven, was a Hall of Fame pitcher on the Angels. I'd never played baseball before. I borrowed a pair of left-handed clubs, Uppy, from our first baseman, Wally Joyner, who was at Big Canyon.
Thanks, Wally.
Day. Wally was great. Yeah, these old hickory clubs. Bert paired me with 4 old-timers. We finished dead last, and Bert gave me the horse's ass trophy at the end for the worst golfer in the thing. And somehow I should have quit right then and there, but I still keep playing.
I mean, your game is good.
Oh, he rolls it. He rolls it. He hits some of the purest putts I've ever seen.
Pure putts,
And
but
so, more should go in for you, Jimbo. I feel like you're getting ripped off sometimes. He burns edges a lot, Updogg.
I know it's a competitive. We have competitive matches out there.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, you gotta get the right read. Greens have been good. Greens have been really good. Shout out to our greenskeeper. He's doing a hell of a job.
Did I tell you the story where Jimbo came up to play Wolf Hammer with us? So Jimbo's like,
with who? Chaz and
who was it? Jimbo? It was like me, you, Benny Mack, maybe.
Jeff Gale was in there.
Jeff Gale
made the big birdie on 18. They just killed you and I.
Yeah. So I was trying to explain it to him what hammer was, and for you people out there, it's just basically it's a poker game at golf, right? Like you call hammer
high stake.
High stake. So, anyways, I called hammer on 18 and hit it in the water, and Jim was like, "What is that going to do for us?" I'm like, "That you're not going to like." And then Jeff Gill made birdie. I'm like, "You're really not going to like that." And we ended up getting rinsed pretty good. So we learned our lesson on that one.
Yeah, that was a big ticket that day. I've walked up to the 18th tee feeling pretty good about life, and 20 minutes later, it was all over down the drain.
What did you think about the Masters this weekend?
Oh, it was fantastic. I actually watched a lot of it. Scheffler just never gave in, man. He just never gave in. And it's funny, Cam Smith. Uppy, I think you were a little prescient a couple episodes ago. You were talking about Cam Smith and his little problems he had there on the players on 18.
Yeah.
And how just the slightest aim, can really throw you off. And sure enough, you said it, 12, 7 yards to work with, and then it goes in the water. And I sure would have liked to have seen him hit that on. It might have been more interesting.
If he pulls the shot off, which he did at 17 at the Players, on the last day, that just was like so tight. It was almost like too close.
Right.
I don't think you can go for that pin on.
That's
on
what
12.
I was like.
You can't go for that.
I'm
pin.
sitting there watching it at the Bay Club with Schmoodsy and Tom Ryland. I'm saying, where the fuck is he aiming? He was taking it on. I'm like, don't take that.
It's the same spot Spieth missed. You can't try to go for that pin.
I think he was so fired up off the birdie 11, which by the way was one of the best roars I've ever heard there with all the people there. And then I don't know. I just think he thought if I stuff it here, I don't know. I'm just guessing, but that shot, it took the sales out of the tournament for sure.
Yeah. Scheffler. I mean, but Scheffler just never gave in. He was incredible. That birdie on 11. How hard was that hole?
Oh my God, that hole.
The only one of the day, I think, that day.
I mean, there wasn't many birdies all week. That is a bear. I mean, Dustin Johnson had 225 in there one day. I'm like, this guy hits it 350, doesn't he? Like, it's crazy.
Have you played Augusta, Jimmy?
I never have. Heard a lot of stories about it from all our mutual friends who just never.
Pretty special place, though, right?
Pretty cool.
When you're a golfer, it's. I've been to one Masters. It's a pretty special place. It's like the holy grail of golf. As athletes in our own respected sports, like we've got to play in, Joe Louis Arena. You're talking about Michigan. You talk about baseball parks, iconic parks. It's Augusta. It's like the greats have went there and done special things and special moments, and it's so cool to be in that atmosphere.
So I had a question for you guys. I was thinking about that exact same thing because one of my favorite things from my playing days, I love the old ballparks.
Yeah.
Like I loved Wrigley, and a lot of them are gone now. They've been replaced like hockey with newer, fancier arenas and suites and the whole thing. But If there was an old barn that you guys played in or looked to be your favorite, what was it?
Yeah. For me, it was, and we got just a tail end of it, but the old Mellon Arena in Pittsburgh, I absolutely loved.
The Igloo.
Yeah, and then Joe Louis.
Joe Louis.
Now, Joe Louis, it was a love-hate relationship because not many times I came out of there, with a nice plus-minus and the 2 points in the bag. Like, usually the Red Wings kicked the shit out of us because they were so good, but the smell it had there, those were the two barns for me that I loved. But those were the only two we really had Updogg when we were.
Well, you're right. So I played my first NHL game at 19. How old were you when you pitched your first?
21. I was in the big leagues. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was a young pup. I remember I had to put $5,000 on the board. You know what that means? Like when you go into like a special game, it's your birthday, or if it's your 100th game or your first game, you put money up, and if you win, you give that money to the team fund. You go chase whatever you want to chase in New York City with it after. So my first game, Nassau Coliseum, which is the New York Islanders one they just tore down. That was old school. But you think of, like, I was just like, whoa, finally NHL game, and the banners and just the history and the sounds those old buildings have are so different than the ones, in this day and age.
Yeah.
But Joe Louis had different lighting than everyone. Like, Joe Louis lighting was it was bright. It was like an old, bright hockey barn.
Yeah,
now, you go to Staples Center or whatever, they darken the seats, and it's just like they try to make the show like the boxing ring there, and it's all dark. Well, Joe Louis was just like a big bright, and seeing Stevie Yzerman and Fedorov and Chelios and Lidstrom, these guys, you're just like, all right, this is cool. Like, don't fucking turn the puck over. Don't throw a pizza.
Don't get sent to the minors. Don't get sent to the minors.
Yeah, you're gonna be on the highlights here tonight.
Yeah.
So for not the right reason.
So Jimbo, in baseball, you guys, for example, what he's talking about is that when you went to Tiger Stadium, you would then put money on the board that would go to the end of the year party, or did you guys have anything like that in baseball where if you won the game, you'd have to put it to the team fund for, or was it just fines and stuff?
No, we didn't have anything like that. We had, I don't know if you guys had Kangaroo Court.
Oh, yeah.
So we had Kangaroo Court, and if you were fined, you put the money in, and then it went to a team party. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, it's one of my favorite stories from my career at all. We had Kangaroo Court when I was with the Yankees, the year that the New York Rangers won the Stanley Cup. So the Rangers came over to Yankee Stadium, and Messier, and who I couldn't take my eyes off this dude. Right, he's just the most intense looking dude. He had this. They were just so happy. I don't know. They were drinking beers or whatever. Yeah. But so they took BP on the field, and they were all dressed up in the Yankee gear, and they had the Stanley Cup in my locker. Right, and all the players were kind of passing around Yankee Stadium. It was just really fucking bitching. It was cool. But we had Kangaroo Court that day, and Wade Boggs, who was our Hall of Fame third baseman at the time, he used to dress up in a robe and the rig and the wig and the whole thing. So we asked the Rangers to stick around for Kangaroo Court. And, all these stupid things were being passed around. You get fined for being late or not tipping the valet or carrying your bags up to the hotel, whatever it was. Not being National League, right? Not being National League. And so we get to the end after it's all said and done, and somebody looks over, and we had this guy named Daryl Boston on the team, and Boston raises his hand, and he goes, "Yeah, I got a fine." And then we said, "What's the fine?" Daryl goes, "I want to fine Messier." He goes, "Messier, I was in the China Club last night, and we're hanging out, having a good time. I got a couple of gals around me." And Messier walks in with the Stanley Cup, and all the girls went over to him. So I got. And Messier said, "Yeah, it's true. I was at China Club, but I didn't see Daryl Boston anywhere." So the fine got reversed. But anyway, it was so cool to have those guys in the locker room, and to play for the Yankees was. He
wanted to get Mess in the Kangaroo Court.
Yeah, he wanted to get Messier to have to pay.
Oh, that's unbelievable.
Yeah,
that's good. That's hockey. That's what we always call it. Things like that.
We'd have Kangaroo Courts too, and then we get like the Russian or Czech guy that couldn't speak English to have to represent the young rookie or whatever. Right? Here's your attorney, bud. He can speak for you and make it kind of a fun thing. But
that's funny.
Jimbo, let's go back to Michigan obviously had a great hockey team this year for us, and I know you're a big supporter of the football club, and you went to the semifinal game. But just being a Michigan boy, playing ball at Michigan, take us back to that.
Well, it was my dream. I didn't really. Like I said, my story was a little bit different, and I didn't really have a golden path that I thought, the big leagues are in the offing. Somehow I was a good high school pitcher. but I grew up in Flint, Michigan, not known for their tremendous baseball leagues or anything. And so going to Michigan made a ton of sense, although I was drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays out of high school.
You were?
Yeah, I was drafted by the Blue Jays.
Jimbo.
Went up to Exhibition Stadium with Todd Stottlemyre and through batting practice up there in Toronto. And
You just never signed with them, right?
I just never signed.
Yeah.
No,
Was that the Scott Boras effect?
Yeah, well, I didn't know Scott
he still does
then.
that now.
Yeah. I didn't know him then. I would later on after my junior year at college. But anyway, so I had that choice between the Blue Jays or the University of Michigan, and absolutely the right thing for me to go to Michigan. And I went there, and just a hell of a great school, great athletic program, and one of the proudest affiliations of my life.
Yeah.
Speaking of team parties
the
and stuff,
Blue Jays,
man.
God, you're breaking my heart here, Jimbo. You're breaking my
Can
heart.
we just get an Abbott jersey?
Yeah, I'm getting one. I don't care. I didn't know he
sure.
signed. I'm getting an Abbott Blue Jays jersey for sure.
We were talking about kangaroo courts and fine funds and all this stuff. I had a rookie party in Ann Arbor during training camp at the Blues. Had a great time.
Is
we
that right?
practiced at Jost Arena. What a special place that is.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal. Talk about a barn. That is a barn. That goes back way. They've retrofitted it. It's beautiful on the inside. They have a great hockey program. But Ann Arbor's a great town. It's come a long way.
I was probably in the same bars. They probably haven't even washed the floors. The same ones you were going to when you were.
Yeah.
What's it like being a student athlete, though? Like, I think about, we went to school. Well, actually, Uppy won WHL Scholastic Player of the Year, which means you're, like, smart on the hockey team. But for OHL and CHL hockey, like, we turned pro. What's it like going to class and having to be an athlete? Like, I respect the student athletes a lot for having to do both,
Yeah, Obi, I wish Michigan is such a good school, and I know a lot of boys or friends who would listen to this will be rolling their eyes because that's all they ever hear me say. But and my two daughters end up going there. My oldest daughter's a junior there right now, and I keep telling them, I said, take advantage of the campus, take advantage of the departments that you can to study above and beyond athletics. To be honest, I started putting all my eggs in one basket. Baseball became my thing. It's who I hung around. We had good teams there, and so I probably didn't study as hard as I should have there. I wish I would have taken advantage of more of that. But it's a great town. The athletic department's very tight. It's really cool to hang out with those guys.
So you didn't have to worry about your coach being like, hey, Abbott, you got a C on, you're not pitching that. You didn't have to worry about that. Like, either way, you knew you were getting the ball, no matter what you got on your math test.
No, you had to be eligible.
You had to be eligible.
That's a big. They watched pretty close over that. That was
Okay.
absolutely, you couldn't be ineligible. So you had to have, I forget what the grade point average, but above a 2.5 or something.
Do you think I could have
The
stayed eligible?
The standard's a little less for hockey.
You think I could have, Jimbo, could I stayed eligible?
Oh, yeah, we have found a class or two for you, Shane.
I'm convinced this college life's just about hanging out. Everyone I talk to, like, how was your college time? Oh, it's great. The people at campus is awesome.
Yeah.
Great bars, class is fun. Yeah. It's like,
and I think we
didn't go, but I feel like it's just it's a good time.
Yeah,
like education's, let's just say it's really expensive to go to college, right? And if you are,
you're gonna find out, bud.
I know
You're gonna find out.
Listen, I got Benny McAllister already got her a little ping putter, Izzy, right? She smacks the putter around. I'm trying to get her lefty, but it's hard to get the left-handed one. So I think daddy lefty, daughter lefty. But anyway, it's really expensive to go. Education right now is free anywhere on the whatever you want to do. You can really dive into it and learn but the relationships you make at college. The groups, the tribes you have, the foreverness you have of cheering for your Michigan team. That's something that is you can't duplicate.
Yeah, and that's
I don't know if it's all about the education.
But that's what we didn't get Jimbo playing junior hockey. Like, I played for 2 junior hockey teams. Uppy only played for 1 in Kamloops. But like, even guys I played, minor pro with in the NHL, like, the way they talk about their alma mater, right? Like the way you talk about Michigan, the way they
That's
pick,
a big word.
Thank you. The way pick up. I wanted to bring out my big brain for the university talk. The way they talk about USC, like, we don't have that in playing junior hockey. Like, Uppy cares about the Kamloops Blazers, and I care about my 2 teams. But like, the fact that you guys have that forever is kind of what we're saying. Like, it's pretty special.
Yeah, I've been watching. The Michigan hockey team this year was rated number 1 for quite a bit of the season. They had Power and Bernier, I think. What's his name? Bernier.
Playing tonight. Both those kids playing tonight. Their first game.
All those guys have signed since they lost, and it's funny. I've been reading their quotes, and they all talk about how much they enjoyed their experience in the athletic department and playing at Michigan. But now it was time to move on and to the pros. And you're right. I mean, there is a mix. I do think sometimes, like the athletes don't take advantage of the academic portions of things. Yeah. But it's hard. It's a huge commitment to play D1 sports.
Yeah.
It's the best decision I ever made, or I like to tease people and say it's the best decision my mother ever made for me, because she said you're going to go to school. But for me, I got stronger. I got better coaching, and then I was able to play because of being an amateur. I played in the Pan American Games instead of summer baseball after my sophomore year, and then after my junior year, the timing was amazing. I played in the Olympics, so I wouldn't trade going to college for anything.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. I was just about to sign in the OHL, and once you sign in the OHL, your eligibility for NCAA is done, right? So my mom and dad, I didn't have an agent at the time, right? We're waiting for this guy.
How's that, by the way, to hang over a 16-year-old's head?
Yeah, right.
How's that
they're basically.
Well, if you want to play in the NCAA. one game here, you screw your eligibility for going to the U.S. So they try to get you in there to that game, right? Wow. It's crazy.
Wow.
And my mom and dad,
16 years old, you're like, what?
Yeah.
What if this doesn't? What if my coach doesn't like me and I want to go to college after?
Right.
Strings it out.
So you think your mom? My mom was like, Shane, you sure you don't want to give college route? I'm like, no, Mom, I want to play in the OHL because it's gonna be OHL to the NHL. But then,
totally.
Looking back, especially for me, because I was always a bigger guy, they played less games. I would have done more conditioning, and I would have been practicing more, and I think it might have kept me more instead of just playing games. And I probably would have parted the same. But
it's a much more popular path now than it's ever been. College in U.S. college, it's a much more. More guys do it. Look at what just happened with these top 10 draft picks this year in Michigan. And like Obi just said, you train harder, you play against bigger, stronger guys. It was always a thing that there's more competition of elite players worldwide coming to the CHL. So if you want to play against the best and size yourself up before the NHL draft, you go there. But now the US JHL, the hockey league is popular. All the academic programs here for hockey are popular. So these kids look at the Austin Mathews now of the world. Look at name a couple, but Austin Mathews is for one. Yeah. A legit reason why.
If you think about it, Michigan's had four of the five last top. 10 picks. That's unheard of. So
it's a big deal because you guys know this as well as anybody, and I was retired from baseball in my early 30s, and our good friend Getsy's going to be retiring here pretty soon, and everyone thinks he's this grizzled old veteran, but he's a young man, right? And to have that education when you get done, you're not an old guy at all. You got a long life to live, and having that education, that just to be able to say that when you walk into to any future relationship is a big deal.
Yeah, it is. It's a massive deal. And I think before we get into some more baseball, there was some football stuff you wanted to touch on with Jimbo, right? A little football stuff.
Yeah, listen, Jimmy,
light touch.
I just a little light touch here.
The first time I ever got to meet you, I could tell immediately how competitive you were and how honorable you are as a man, and you never wanted anything for granted. You never wanted to be given a special path. You always, when you talked about, hard work and creativity, I noticed that on something I watched the other day. When you were a young kid, throwing the ball up against the brick wall that you grew up on and learning how to properly catch it and being efficient with that. And what that's taught younger kids nowadays who might have the same sort of condition. When you were younger, what was the drive to chase a sport and to be competitive? And it was baseball the avenue for it? And then the creativity part, putting that into a sport in general can elevate your mind into it. And just what was that like for you at that time?
Well, so I grew up a little bit different, of course, and so I really had a need or want to fit in, and Flint, Michigan. When I was growing up, you probably heard a lot of things about Flint being a tough place, and it is. But they had a lot of great athletes: basketball, football, baseball, track, everything. And so there were all these great athletes walking around all the time. You go to the movies, you'd see this, varsity jacket, and you'd see these guys that you read about in the local paper. And so for a kid who fell a little bit in the outside, sports were like, hey, there's a way I can meet people. There's a way I can fit in at recess or whatever. And so I had a lot of great mentors. I had a lot of great coaches. And at that point, that's when the creativity, if I wanted to play, I had to be able to switch the glove on and off and throw and catch with my left hand. Or I played football and be able to take the snap and just think a little bit differently. And that's the beauty of baseball. You can be different and you can contribute. And it seems like the same way in hockey. Everybody brings a little different skill to the thing. Yeah. And, so that's the beauty of sports, is the ability to fit in and to compete. Fight back a little bit against that hurt and that frustration. And I was a pretty tough competitor. I've tried to lessen that a little bit now, and I don't try not to.
You should see him on the back nine. You should see him on the back nine,
no,
boys.
But he's silent with it. Like he's a pitcher with it, right? Like a pitcher beats you, like looking, like just I'm gonna strike you out. Like you have to have that ingrained in you to. Yeah. You see that on the golf course, eh?
I see him turn the notch. I see him turn the notch on. Yeah.
Well, I don't know how it was at hockey. I'm sure it was this way, but there was. And when you pitch at the Angels, at the old Angel Stadium, when I pitched there, they used to have a big boxing punching bag at the bottom of the, as you come down the dugout up into the clubhouse.
I need one of those in my house now.
Yeah, exactly. Because guys, it was a common thing for guys to, what we call snap. They would snap, and they'd take a bat to that thing or beat it up. And instead of beating up the bat rack, you'd go beat up the punching thing.
I teach Izzy that now. I teach my little daughter that to hit the pillow when she gets mad. She wants to hit like me. I'm like, hit the pillow. If you're going to be mad, snap on the pillow.
That's the way it is. And so I had plenty of snap in me. Yeah. I had plenty of snap, and I wasn't always proud of that. I thought it was kind of, when I got done playing baseball, I was like, I don't need to be that way.
Yeah.
Jimbo, it's something I want to just about your childhood growing up. It's something I've always wondered and never wanted to ask about golfing. But when I was growing up, for me, guys were calling me fat all the time, right? You're fat, you're fat, you're fat, and it motivated me to work hard, and it got me in some fights as a kid. Like growing up with what you had, did people bully you at all? Did they make you want to like, hey, fuck you, buddy, I'm going to prove you wrong? Or did people support you? Like, I know people saying that to me made me want to, work harder at hockey and get better and get to the NHL to prove them wrong. Did people bully you at all when you were younger with that stuff, or not really?
Well, I pity the fool who fought you over that, by the way. Looking at those mitts right there. How'd you fit those things into a hockey glove anyway?
There was a problem until you got to the show. Then they made them custom made for you. But before that, it was in one. But.
You were probably in one, yeah. I got in one a couple times, for sure. There was some, teasing and awkwardness on playgrounds. But I swear, Obi, my story is so much of one of, and then it sounds corny or whatever, but of support. I had great coaches. I had such generous people in my life. And well, if there was negativity, I didn't hear a ton of it. And I had that great team around me that sort of coalesced around me and didn't let that. I remember, we were playing in Comiskey Park my rookie or second year of the big leagues, and we got into a little bench clearing, push around really in baseball. They don't really fight too much, but as we were coming back in Chicago, a fan stood up and said, Abbott, what the fuck are you going to do with one hand, right? And man, you had to hold back half our team. And they were going to go up in the stands. Our manager was going after people, and I can't tell you how much that means to you. And my whole life has been like that of just great support.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So how was the transition into football? Because I saw a couple videos of you taking a couple smacks, and I'm like, I remember when I fucking first started playing hockey. I broke my collarbone in the first ever game of body checking. I broke my collarbone out 6 weeks as a 13-year-old kid. How old were we when we started body checking? 13, right? Pee wee.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, about that.
We're playing a team. I still remember the kid's name. This Adam Erick. He wore the same number. Played for Grand Center. He fucking rocked me as I was getting to the red line, and I was about, you learn how to hit later, right? It's like, or take hits. Well, I was 4 feet from the boards, fucking boom, break my collarbone, ice bags, and that sort of thing. Yeah. But you switch into a contact sport as a quarterback, and you talk about taking snaps. I think your first game you had 4 touchdowns or something. Yeah. It was pretty fucking. You throwing the lefty.
I love that you wanted to go right to quarterback too. You don't want to play defense. You're like, I'll play quarterback.
I'll play quarterback.
I'll figure this out. I'll play quarterback.
So how was the transition into into a contact sport for you?
it was awesome.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Right.
I loved it. And I didn't make the decision. Honestly, I was a good baseball player, and I had run some cross country, but I was really skinny. And my head baseball coach was the defensive coordinator for the football team, and I think he wanted to toughen me up, right? So he called me and he said, "Hey, we're 2-a-days have started. You're going to play football this year." And I was like, "Well, hey, I've never played."
How old were you at
football.
this time, Jimbo?
I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And I'd never played. And he basically hung up on me. He said, "You're playing football this year." And so I went down there, and we had a really good team. One of our wide receivers went to Wisconsin. Another one could have gone anywhere he wanted to, but he ended up playing basketball at DePaul. And our running backs, we just were really good. And so I loved the culture. The Friday Night Lights. I went to a fairly segregated school. It was half black, half white. And the football team was very much that culture, and the music was different. The atmosphere in the locker room was different. I loved hanging out with those guys and the intensity of it. And, so it turned out my senior year, I was still the backup, and our starting quarterback, who was really good, he was ruled academically ineligible for the last game of the season, and we had to win to go to the state playoffs anyway. So I was thrown into that situation with these great players, and I had a couple of good games. We made a nice run in the state playoffs, and everyone to this day thinks I was a good football player, but I really wasn't.
do you look back to and think, like, had I not have played football and learned like that different sort of edge? Because I think evolving kids into different sports is huge for the development and just how to get along with different teammates, see different problems in different sports, and how to just kind of deal with adversity. But pushing that coach who called you and said you're playing football could have changed the path of what baseball brought to you. Right?
It changed everything up here. That's such a great point. I mean, for your daughter growing up, and so many kids, especially out here in California, get so specialized. It's just a 24/7, 365 days. They do the same exact thing over and over and over again, and also this mentality of everything you do has to be building towards something. Like, I should play a different sport because it's going to help me develop. Yeah, which is fine, but it's also going to be a different experience. Yeah. Playing hockey is so different than playing baseball or lacrosse, or just to be in a different locker room, hang out with different people, share. It's just that's what I don't like youth sports so much right now, that everything just has to be building towards something. It's so private, club oriented. It is so specialized, and you're right. I wouldn't trade playing football for anything.
Yeah, and I told you a lot. I played baseball every offseason until I signed my pro contract, and I told you, shout out to the Northumberland Whiskey Jacks, Gordy Kelly, Chris Kelly. We played in the Wooden Bat League in Toronto, and the time I spent in that dugout with those guys those 2 years, it matured me to handle pro hockey better. I honestly believe those 2 years of playing with grown men and traveling with them, and I was, 18 years old, 19 years old, hanging out in the dugout, playing double hitters with them. It made me realize more about how to hang out with the boys and stuff like that. It kind of turned me into the pro that I was going to be.
I always say the same thing, Obi, about playing with older guys. When I was 16, we were hosting, my team in Fort McMurray was hosting the Royal Bank Cup. So we basically got to take all the WHL professional junior 20-year-olds that didn't make their team. They're only allowed 3. So all the fourth guy that was getting released, we slid them, offers, basically come play Tier 2 junior hockey and play for a Canadian championship in the last year of their eligibility. And I was playing with 12, 20-year-olds, and I'm 16. And I learned the way that the stories they'd tell, sitting around taping their sticks before practice, going for beers on the road at Boston Pizzas, all the bus trips. We played in Fort Mac. Closest game was 4 hours away. So, and they're like, Upshaw, back of the bus. So they're basically teaching me how to be an adult early. I got to my 17-year-old year, 18-year-old year, and I was already an old guy. I already felt like I could be a leader. I knew what to say, this and that. So it's funny when you play with older guys and just you look back on the things that happened and the story, and then why things played out the way they do. You know?
That's how the game's passed down.
Yeah,
right? Those stories. And you got to hang on to the history and the people who've come before you.
Yeah. And by the way, Jimbo, when I talk about you as a football player, you're going to go down as a good one.
Totally.
I'm going to still say good one.
I don't have to change the story now, right?
Yeah.
Golden Spike Award at Michigan, that's a great name for the award, and your jersey was retired, which is pretty cool too. And this is awesome to me. You know, when you're an Olympic athlete, I was nowhere near good enough to even think about that. But just talk us through that before you made the big leagues to represent your country. And I mean, that must have been a pretty cool honor.
You know what was cool about that one, Obi, was that was all college players. There was no professional aspect to it. And in the summertime, we'd all been drafted, but Major League Baseball had an agreement with USA Baseball that you could sign. Like, I signed with the Angels, but I had to put the money in an escrow account, and I couldn't go play. And then they allowed us to be amateurs and compete in the Olympics. So, you know, we had really good players. I mean, our friend Mike Fiore from Miami,
we're gonna talk about him.
Fee.
I love Fee.
And, you know, just Robin Ventura and Tino Martinez and Ben McDonald, Eddie Sprague. I mean, up and down, we were just
Eddie
really
Sprague.
fun. Eddie
I love
Sprague.
Eddie
Yeah,
Sprague.
Eddie
He was
was
a
my
J.
boy.
Was he ever?
Third baseman.
Yeah.
93 World Series, Eddie Sprague. Come on, baby.
Eddie Sprague won 2 College World Series, a gold medal in the Major League World Series in the span of about 4 years. It was
That's
unbelievable.
crazy.
Was he single?
And his wife was a synchronized swimmer. I can tell you that story.
Oh, so she was good hanging upside down in the water.
We met her at the Pan Am Games. Yeah, we showed up on a bus, and the synchronized swimming team was doing their dry land rehearsals in these short shorts and these tank tops. We were like, "What?"
You're like, this Olympics aren't bad, fellas. This
It
Olympics
was
are
pretty
bad.
good stuff. But you know, to play for your country, as you guys know, and it was just really special. And the fact that it was an amateur team, and we were going up against the Cubans and Japanese, and you know, some of the best amateur guys in the world, and to win, we won a gold medal 5-3. You know, it was really special.
Where's that gold medal now? Where do you keep that baby? Just is still Newport back in Michigan, or where do you keep that baby? Or you don't want to tell people? Maybe we should tell people. But
It went through some dark
Just
times.
don't
We lost
tell us
her
you
there.
sold her.
No, we didn't sell it. Didn't sell it yet. If I keep playing wolf with my boy Obi over here, I may have to put that thing up on eBay. But it's in my office. It was in a closet for a long time. I thought maybe my wife had thrown it away on accident, but it's been to a few classrooms in different places around, and you know, it's a hell of a deal, and I wouldn't trade that experience for anything.
You mentioned Cuba. How was your experience going to Cuba to play baseball for the first time? You were young too, right? You were young at the time.
Yeah. So we went there after my sophomore year. We were the first United States team to play in Cuba in 25 years. You know, things were still pretty tense between, as they are now to this day, between the Cuban people and the American people. And what I didn't understand at the time, and I won't go on and on, was that, you know, the Cubans really use their sports as propaganda, for lack of a better word. It's an endorsement of their way of life. Like their baseball team, those kids are molded. They're picked out of leagues and brought into the national program specifically to play on the national team, and same with boxing and track and different things. So when I went over there to play, and our team, when I showed up with one hand, you wouldn't have believed the reaction. You know, it was like the newspapers and the television cameras came rushing over, and they were just, you know, focusing on my hand. They took these pictures, big, giant articles in the newspaper, and we lost the first 2 games of the series, tight games, but we lost. And I pitched against them. I started the 3rd game, and we won. We beat them. We beat the Cuban team. And there was this massive reaction. You know, we were playing in the Estadio Latinoamericano. There's 50,000 people. Castro came to the first game, and you couldn't believe. Every time I walked on the field, people would stand up and point and whistle, and it was just these unbelievable, nothing like I'd ever seen in the United States. Yeah, sophomore in college.
Crazy.
And I asked our interpreter at the end of it, you know, I said, you know, people notice my difference back in the United States. They don't make as big a deal about it. There's more tolerance, it seems. And he said, you know, Jim, it's unimaginable that a kid like you in Cuba would ever even be given the chance.
Yeah.
Like, you would never have been selected.
Yeah.
You would never have had that opportunity that you had growing up. And so be thankful where you come from, boys. And that openness and that tolerance made all the difference in my life.
By the way, there's a clip in that game where you get the grounder and you throw the guy out catching it, and he throws him out from the third baseline to first, and the crowd erupts. It was a great clip. It was like a shot. It was a pop up. It hit the ground and pops up, and Jimmy runs over and grabs it and spins and fires the guy out at first. And it was like it had to have been such a cool moment. Like
bang play. Yeah. Victor Mesa was his name. He was a hot dog man. He made
bang,
Ricky Henderson look tame on the
on
the field. He was, but the crowd did go crazy, and I have to say it was. In some weird sort of way, as much as they were cheering. We almost won them over. We almost won them over in that thing. It's like great. All of a sudden they couldn't make themselves out to be the underdog. It was just this weird dynamic. But
have you been back to Cuba ever since?
I haven't. I've thought about it.
Yeah, it's a beautiful.
Go
place.
down there and get some cigars, maybe. Hey,
I tried on that trip. I almost fell over. It was like everybody said, "Oh, you got to have a Cuban."
Oh man!
Holy cow! I was 19.
Opened it up.
Barely made it back to the hotel.
They opened it up, man. Yeah, that'd be fun. They opened it up a couple years ago. Like our boy Spencer went. A bunch of people have gone, but then you don't hear of them going anymore again. I don't know.
I think
COVID.
I think Obama tried, and then Trump maybe closed up some things. It's too bad.
There's a good chance Jumper closed up a few things. There's a good chance.
They love baseball, man. They absolutely.
Yeah, and they got some good ball players,
it.
Man. Like good ball players. Like really, really good.
Yeah.
Jimbo, you mentioned the Olympics, obviously, and then, even the first rounder over here, 6 overall, spent a little time in the minors. But you, my friend, did not. And right to
one
the
of
show.
Those guys.
One of those guys.
Yeah,
right to the show. Talk to me. Like, that's got to be, I can't. How old were you then? 21
I was
still?
21.
Like me, 21, I just turned pro. I turned pro at 20, so my second year pro, I couldn't imagine playing in the NHL at that time. Like, I wasn't ready. I wasn't good enough and just wasn't mature enough. So jumping right into the show, did you feel like you were ready after, the whole Olympic experience? You said, fuck, bring these boys on?
I don't know if I ever felt like that in my career. It worked. It because we played in the Olympics all summer, right into the fall. I took the winter off. I came to spring training, and I pitched in Major League spring training, and I did well. And there was an opening in the rotation, and I made the team. So that's how it happened. And it was pretty wild. It came fast and furious. I was like, whoa. I was all of a sudden pitching against these guys who I had their baseball cards, right, and saw on TV. And so there was an adjustment period. There's no question about it. And I had to grow up pretty quick.
I bet.
After being pretty good, and having things go your way a lot, all of a sudden you're getting knocked around and you got to learn on the fly. And, just the smallest of mistakes, and you're in the clubhouse icing down with a Bud Light, right?
Man, what happened there? I thought I had those boys. Yeah,
but I wouldn't trade it. I again, and like you said, I'll be the older guys, the mentors. The dinners they take you to, the places you go, the bus rides, the plane rides,
nightclubs.
Well, maybe it was good. It was good. Yeah.
Would you
do you
say?
Think, yeah. Sorry, real quick. Do you think? Looking back because, we nowadays, we're the two old crusty veterans, right? And these young kids, they come in, they play right away, and they don't have to, no one touches them and no one hits them. And 2 years in, they get a $64 million contract. Like, so we're a little jealous, or I'm jealous. I won't speak for Uppy. But do you think looking back that it might have been better for you to go down and ride the buses a bit and hang with the boys in the minors? Or do you think jumping right in didn't really make a difference or helped you the other way?
I don't know. Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. Like I said, I took losing really hard, and I don't say that like pat on the back sort of way. I did. I hated losing. It affected me in ways that I wish I would have handled a little bit better. To be honest, maybe going to the minor leagues would have helped me to learn that a little bit, because the scrutiny. When you lose, it's such a public thing. In the big leagues. But I wouldn't trade it. And things worked out pretty well. And I'd tell you what, when the coach, we used to do spring training over in Arizona for 4 weeks, and then we would go to Palm Springs at spring break for the rest of our spring training. And they always used to wonder why the Angels used to go like 0-10 to start the season.
Sunburnt. Yeah.
But our pitching coach told me at the old Gene Autry Hotel over there in Palm Springs that I'll never forget. Just beautiful day. You're not gonna go to Midland, Texas, AA. You're coming up to the big leagues. You're coming with us to Anaheim. And man, I got the chills. I just couldn't believe it. We all remember that moment.
In baseball, that's outrageous, right? Like guys go down, like they stick you down in A-ball. Like I think in the baseball's almost the other way than hockey. Sometimes they send these guys down where you're like, he probably deserves to be up there. But typically, you got to go down and ride the bus.
I think like hockey though, times have changed in baseball too. It used to be a man's game.
Yeah.
It used to be these guys didn't get their contracts, their long-term deals till they were. Right now free agency could be 30 years old, I think, in baseball. 6 years. So coming out of college, roughly. But just the younger players have more of an impact now than they ever have. Before it was the 32-year-old would sign the long-term ticket till he was 45 and would get every opportunity to play. And, quite frankly, the Yankees and Red Sox, they'd all stack up their teams and win. But you played through an era. We have. I know Obi probably has this teed up, but I want to ask now because it's probably great. Yeah. You played in a great era, like fucking WWF was rocking. Fucking the boys in the dugouts were juicing. What was that like? What was it like to see how big and powerful some of these guys could hit the ball and just sizing up. A batter that's head is this
Jose
big,
Canseco,
and he's going to just absolutely launch one back.
Jose comes in.
I tell you what, man, those Oakland A teams were just unbelievable, and I don't know who was doing what. I can't really say except for what's well known publicly, but Ricky Henderson, Jose Canseco, Mark McGuire. And Dave Stewart on the mound. I mean, whether or not those. I don't mean to throw some of those guys in there, but
no.
Whether or not they were juicing or not, didn't make them any easier to face.
Yeah,
they could hit balls that you'd think was as a pitcher, right? I mean, you give it's a fly ball to left.
Oh, it just doesn't
and
stop
it's
moving.
10 rows up in the seats, right? And Canseco's hitting balls, opposite field. Upper deck in Anaheim Stadium. I mean, that left-handed hitters don't do that. It was, but what's really weird about it, and this is the truth. I think I was a little naive, but in the big leagues, I don't know how it is in the NHL. Everybody has their family, and everybody has their own house they go home to, and so besides what you see physically in a locker room or whatever, you don't see evidence of guys taking. It's like they have their own doctors and they have things.
Yeah.
And so although I know I was playing with and against guys who were at the forefront of that, I did get sent down to the minor leagues at the end of my career. I was struggling. And that's when I really saw it. That's the young kids, the AA kid, the right-hander throwing 87 miles an hour who is never going to make it, and they're all living 6 to a house.
Yeah.
And the story starts spreading pretty quick about this guy's all of a sudden throwing 93, and hey, he just got called up, and he was living with this guy. Now this guy's throwing 94, and so it was a bad time. The temptation to have to do that to make it. Was rough.
No, and listen, in the minor leagues, I came from junior where, I was a decent player and kind of a tough guy, and I get to the American League and I see some of these guys and I'm going,
in 2 years they turned into animals.
You want me to fight that guy? Like I don't need to be a doctor, but I'm not on the same thing that fucking guy's on right there. That guy will rip my head off and shit down my throat. Like I'm not fighting that guy,
Duke
right?
Nukem style.
So and they wanted to get to the NHL, and then I got lucky enough that my skills kind of developed, but the guys down there that were making $30,000 in the American League wanted to get to the NHL, and we knew. Yeah. We're not going to say names, but we knew guys that we played against on our teams.
When they're putting Flexol in their mouth and banging their head off the glass before the game.
They're trying to do whatever they can to get there. I get it, but when you're asking me to fight that guy, it's like, well, can I get him to piss in the cup here before we start? Like I like an even playing field is all. Like in the minors, I noticed it too.
It was fun to watch though. It was fun to watch how far these balls could sail. That's
what you said. I always joke to the boys about. Remember Barry Bonds when he was breaking the records at that park, AT&T there. He'd hit them in McCovey.
Every 1,000 boats.
McCovey's Cove. Now you watch a Giants game, they can't even get her.
Oh my god,
they can't get her out to right.
Can you imagine?
Like he was hitting them.
Imagine the bat flipping that'd be going on today. Today if they were hitting it. It's how it is. Professional sports, man. Everybody's trying to get an edge. Yeah. Trying to get an edge, and that's just the culture, unfortunately, that it is.
Yeah, Jimbo, you brought this word up a couple times, spring training. Spring training. It's something that's always intrigued me about your profession. Spring training to me, maybe I've watched too many, major leagues and for the love of the game, but spring training to me looked like the boys, the veterans get together, pitchers and catchers come a little early, and we play some games and we play some golf and we enjoy Florida or the Texas League. Is that what it was, or am I downplaying a little too much, Jimbo?
Well, spring training is two different things to two different guys, right? I mean, if you're the veteran guy who's got it 8 years in and you had a nice year last year, I mean, it's a tune-up. You're tuning it up, and you might go out and enjoy a couple steaks or something. I remember one veteran player came over and we were in it. He was he'd been in Florida his entire career. And he came to Arizona and he signed with our team and he comes in. We start early. It's guys get there really early in the morning for spring training because it's just kind of a race to do that. But
because you got a tea time at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it too. He comes in and he fires his hat down and he goes, "What's wrong with the women in this town? Doesn't anybody say no?" We're like, "What the hell?"
Up here's like, "That's every city I played in."
They can't spell no around here.
They can't spell no. Yeah. So
that's
a veteran guy.
Was, yeah.
But then the other, like my last couple years, I struggled. I had some rough years. I was on pins and needles. Every outing, I got there at 6:30 in the morning. I lifted every weight I could. I did every sprint. And let me tell you, it was mentally knowing that you're trying to make a roster. You're trying to stay. Jack Morris, the great Tiger pitcher, I met him in the outfield my rookie year, who I knew him and from reputation only. He walked up to me and he knew I was from Michigan, and he kind of looked at me and he said, "You made it, kid." And I kind of nodded my head. I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "The trick is to stay."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you guys know it's hard to stay,
it's
right?
Hard to
I mean,
stay.
You guys bounced up and down and went here and there, and to another. It's hard to stay.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to stay in spring training, man, you got to bust your ass.
Yeah. And you know what, Jimbo? It's so true. I played 3 full years in the minors. I never got called up and down. Uppy did a little bit. And then I made the big club here in Anaheim, and I played basically 10 straight. And then I went back down at the end of my 10th year and then bounced around a little bit. But I look back and be like, to just hang for 10. How'd I do it, first of all? I'm lucky, good friends, good teammates, good support system. But looking back, I'm like, how'd I do that? It's so hard to stay.
And then at the end, when you want to do it, so I was working out here at the Boris Sports Institute here in Newport Beach, my last 8 years of playing hockey. And my last 4 years, I didn't have contracts. I went into these fucking, training camps, aka spring training, on PTOs. The first one being in Ann Arbor was my first ever one where I went into an NHL training camp with no deal. And it is like, give your balls a tug. Yeah. Look in the mirror every fucking morning before you go to the rink, and you need to tell yourself again, you're going to be better than all these young kids who think that now's their year. And you got to convince, the coaches and the teammates that are already there and are staying that you're going to bring more to the table than anyone here. And that's fucking hard. That's really hard. And it's hard. And it's hard to show up to the gym in the summer when you have that kind of thing.
When there's a party in Hollywood, it's hard to show up.
It's fucking hard.
Hey boys, I got a party in Hollywood tonight. I'm playing Bel Air tomorrow. I'm playing Rib.
So I wouldn't say no to those. But I wouldn't say no to my workouts, and I fucking make sure I do it, even though it was really, really hard at the end.
Yeah.
It's harder than it ever is.
It's harder at the end than at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard to get to the league, but I was full of piss and vinegar, same as all you guys. At the end, when I knew I was in trouble, I made it a little bit of cash or whatever. I was like, fuck, it's hard at the end to keep her coming,
Yeah, you got to stay motivated. It's got to mean a lot to you, You just, for me, I always hated losing so much. It was winning just staved off the pain, right?
Yeah.
Losing brought it home, so you just keep fighting and fighting and fighting. And I remember, I think I was the first episode of Missin Curfew where you guys were talking about staying out late and having to come into that practice in the morning like nothing ever happened, And there's been a few of those,
guilty,
I know, but you got to have some fun along the way.
Speaking of fun along the way, Jimbo, you pitch every 5 days. Right? It's kind of a schedule to me. I looked at it's not a bad schedule here. Right? So
should have stayed in baseball.
Let me ask you a question here. Obviously you were better pro than probably I was, more mature guy. But talk me through those 5 days. Like, obviously you got to be there to support the squad, but I mean you don't have to pitch for 4 days. You just regroup and hang out, or you take a couple days where that night you go for some dinners, enjoy yourself. How does that work?
Well, the new manager for the New York Mets, Buck Showalter, was our manager in New York when I was with the Yankees, and he. Starting pitchers used to drive him nuts, because he always said it.
He had to be there every day.
He's a guy who noticed everything, right? He just was on top of it all. And 7:05 game, starting pitchers come down. He usually had to be down there for the national anthem and stand on the step, and then you could, most of the part they wanted you on the bench, but he used to just shake his head every day. He goes, you know what? This is the best job in the world. Starting pitching is the best job in the world. And he was exactly right. It is when you win. When you win. But, it's a mental grind when you lose.
Great point.
You fly into a city. Maybe you start the first game of that series, and you get your head beat in a little bit. And you have to stare at that field for 4 days. Just stare at that team that just knocked you around.
I'd be looking in the crowd, Jimmy.
You could do that. But there's only so.
Yeah.
You just have to sit there and take it and be patient and start your routine back up again. There's a routine to starting pitching, which makes Ohtani, what he's doing, so incredible. So it is a great job when you win. It's the best job in the world. But man, if you lose, it can wear on you.
That's a great point. See, I've never looked at it from that angle. I just looked at it like, hey, I pitch now. I'm in New York for 3 days, chasing around a little bit. But in hockey, you play every other day. So you have a bad night, you go the next day, you prepare, and you go out there and play. So if you're losing as a pitcher, that's a great point. I never thought of it from that perspective. I always thought, sit in the dugout for 4 days, hang out with the boys and support them. But it's something that grinding you.
Yeah. It's. Yeah, 1 year I won 18 games 1 year in the big leagues, and I lost 18 games 1 year in the big leagues. And I got to tell you that winning 18 was so much more fun than losing, and all the way. But when you try to catch up, you're having a bad season, you're trying to win 2 games every time you go out there for one, and you can't get out of that spiral, and it's tough. That's when you make good money. The benefits are great, but man, it's work. Yeah. It's work.
Jimbo, I've asked you this a lot. Well, not a lot, but we played a lot of golf together. I've talked to you about the day in '93 against the Cleveland Indians, now the Cleveland Guardians, which is never going to sit well with me, but that's neither here nor there.
After Major League.
Come on, they're the Cleveland Indians. Tribe talk, baby. Hey, I love Major League. It's my favorite movie.
Can I ask just before you, what was it like to play baseball at the time of these Major League movies were coming out? Was it just like a talk like amongst the boys? Like, it's hilarious. It was a great movie, basically, following hilarious fucking everyday stuff that happens in the major league.
I wouldn't leave that rum lying around here with this bunch. Hey, bartender, Joe Boo needs a refill.
They had to have had some, non-fictional characters in the big leagues or whatever that they were following with these movies.
Right? Between Major League and Bull Durham and everything, they were definitely onto something, with the voodoo doll in the locker and the superstitions and all the craziness, and the veteran guy who's made it and lives in the fancy house, and the young crazy rookie who's coming up, and they play it up a little bit. It's absolutely, but it is true.
I love Harris. Hey. Bardo, Vagisil, Vasily. If you always want to put a little jalapeno in my notes, get it running. He's like, you put snot on the ball.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. That's what he says. Whatever it takes. I love that movie, Major League, so much.
Yeah.
Interesting. Let's see when he beans the guy for the first time. He's like, thank God, it's 8-0. Let's see how he reacts. I love that movie. I love that movie.
It's fucking funny stuff.
Yeah.
But Jimbo, talk to us just about, the fact you threw a no-hitter. It was at Yankee Stadium, right? It's at home, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I've asked you, but did you feel any different heading to the park that day? When did you know, okay, hold on a second here.
And it's one of the most amazing feats in pro sports. I don't care,
it's crazy.
Throwing that is a special feat. Well, bring us back.
Well, my family and friends were just as surprised too. It was a wild game. I had just pitched against the Indians. Or they were the Indians then. I can call them that.
Yeah.
In Cleveland 5 days before, and I got shelled. I got absolutely shelled. You want to talk about everything we've been talking about to this point? I was kind of having a rough year. I didn't make it through the third inning. I was frustrated. I was, angry. we flew back to New York. We played the White Sox, and I had a couple good buddies. Kirk McCaskill, who was actually a great hockey player at UVM, ended up pitching in the big leagues for 12 years. He came in. My friend Robin, we went to dinner, had beers in New York, stayed out really late.
See, that's why.
That's it. Really?
Right there, you heard it right there.
It was just great to be with friends and kind of mix it up a little bit, bud. And Saturday came around. It was my turn to start, and I just sort of had this like, F it, it's let's just see what happens, and we changed the game plan up a little bit, and I was a little wild. I was walking a few guys. It didn't feel like a perfect game, but then all of a sudden in the 5th inning, I looked up at the scoreboard, and we were winning 4-0, and they didn't have any hits yet, and it just kind of dawned on you, all right, well, this could be fun. Let's see what happens. And then, the 6th inning, the 7th inning, and the fans in Yankee Stadium they're into it. They're cheering. They're booing the umpire. Every time he calls a ball, and every good play, there's this huge roar. And man, I just started to feel it. I mean, heart, breathing, knees. You guys know, and
you're in your flow state.
Yeah, you're in your flow state, and there's something, like I'm sure Scottie Scheffler felt this week. The excitement of something magical being within your reach is every bit as stressful as something terrifying being in front of you too, and that's the way it felt that day. And that 27-out countdown, that last ground ball to shortstop, and it was just electric.
I feel like too, for every no hitter, there's one hit that you go, fuck.
A guy makes a play.
And Bernie Williams in the 2nd out in the 9th, it was to the warning track, but it's still like every no hitter that you see, there's one outfielder that just makes this great play where you're like, come on, baby.
That's right. And there's this little moment of silence until it happens. Like everybody's waiting, like, and then boom, it goes, and then you're back on again. And man, it's just New York is an unbelievable place to play, and really special.
Jimbo, talk me through the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning of that. Where you're throwing a chew in between innings, and second, do you want the boys not to talk to you? Like, I don't know if I had a no hitter. I think I might be. Boys, slide down here. What the fuck is going on here? Like,
I know.
Hey, good.
Yeah,
Why?
Where are we going after?
Yeah, why leave me on an island so I can just sit there and be like, or is that just? I know it's an old tradition, but were you okay with the boys? Hey, I know what's going on here. Leave me alone, fellas.
It wasn't so much that they weren't talking to me. And like I said, it had been kind of a game where I just said, F it, and I had been sort of lighthearted and more lighthearted than I usually was playing. And so all of a sudden that mood just sort of switched. And it wasn't so much that they weren't talking to me. It was just kind of the atmosphere of the dugout itself. It was sort of eerie. Like everybody's walking on pins and needles and no one's acting the way they usually act, especially if you're winning 4-0. So that's what was kind of weird about it. And the 7th inning, it kind of dawned on me that, you start breaking games down into 3-inning, 9-out increments. And, to get to that 7th inning was kind of a big deal. And then all of a sudden, but I had a no-hitter earlier in the season against the White Sox in the 8th inning. And Bo Jackson flared a ball out to left field. And it was kind of a good pitch, and he just kind of flared it out there. And then the next guy hit a home run. So I was like, I'm not letting that happen. No matter what happens. So all those experiences kind of went into it. And to be dead honest with you, the 9th inning, just feeling that excitement, I went back to the Olympics, winning a gold medal and being out there for the 9th inning of that. Wanting something so bad and being so excited, and just realize you got to gather yourself here, man. You got to get it together and see the mitt and hit the mitt and trust it and let the results fall where they're going to happen. But, I got that 27th out in the Olympics. We won a gold medal. Ground ball to Robin Ventura over to Tino Martinez, and we celebrated, on the ground, jam pile, like hockey players do. And then, that 27th out of the MLB in Yankee Stadium. Donnie Mattingly, who's the manager of the Marlins.
He got tossed last night. I loved it.
Did he?
He got tossed. I loved it. Loved it.
You guys would love Donnie Mattingly. You would love him.
Donnie baseball.
He's just Evansville, Indiana through and through, and he never changed.
Never been Indiana.
Yeah, he was Derek Jeter before Derek Jeter, and he's just, he caught that last out, and to see his excitement, he threw his hands in the air, and then all of a sudden we were hugging. drinking champagne and going crazy.
Yeah,
That's great. That's special, man. That's really
amazing.
special.
That was neat.
that's amazing.
Like Obi and I, when we finished our careers, we went overseas. We did a little hiatus. I went to Switzerland. He did a little thing in Austria and Finland. Did you manage to go over to Europe at the end of the career at all? Did you go over and enjoy any?
No.
Did you just go on
Japan?
vacation?
Did you go to Japan to play?
Did you go to Italy?
Mr. Baseball to play in Japan?
I would have liked to. The Japanese people really embraced my play. And I actually went over there a couple of times during my career and did some endorsement stuff.
Oh, yeah, nice.
No, I ended, to be honest, my career ended much earlier than I wanted it to.
Me too.
I was released by the Angels, drove home from spring training, had to say goodbye. Team went out to the field, and I packed my bag, threw it in my truck, and drove across the desert back over here. And it was
That's
lonely.
a long drive by
As
yourself.
lonely
You
as
know
I
what?
ever
Yeah.
felt. And I didn't see much of the road. I was,
I bet,
it
brother.
was rough.
I
And,
bet. I never knew that. Wow.
I tried a little comeback. I pitched with the White Sox for, I got another year in. But when my career was over, it was over. It had been a lot of pain, sort of disappointment and hurt at the end, and I was ready to get rid of that.
Jimbo, talk me through the 2 career base hits here. Talk me through them. Were they fucking blasting the gap, or did you turn it into 2, or what?
My man John Lieber gave up both of them. I still need to send him a little something in the mail. Say thank you very much for that. I played in the National League my last year. I played with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yeah.
Got a base hit against Chicago Cubs in Milwaukee, and I think RBI on both.
Nice.
And then played in one of the great venues ever, Wrigley Field, and day game.
Oh,
sun was out. Got a base hit, drove in a run, got to
Threw a
first base.
chew in.
Yeah,
Threw a
that's-
chew in.
Let's not start talking about career average.
Right.
We're talking about
Right down to Viagra Triangle down
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
That's where we used to stay in Chi-Town. That's
Yeah.
like, let's go right downtown.
The old Tavern
Down
on Rush.
Yeah, Tavern, that Rush Street. Viagra Triangle.
yeah.
Little
I'll
Sutton
tell you what.
Hotel.
The staff at that place at the Tavern on Rush, or Rush on Tavern.
And it says Frogs next to it. That little.
There's Gibson's Steakhouse.
Gibson's
Steakhouse.
Yeah. There you go.
Is Chicago the best or what?
It was. Listen. We don't need to get into this, but it's not what it once was. I went there to watch Notre Dame. Stayed in Chicago with TD and our boy Brian Gale, and I was disappointed because it used to be my favorite city, Jimbo.
Really?
It was my favorite city to go in and play against the
Yes.
Hawks and to stay in Rush, and it was just. But neither that's nor here nor there. But the 2 hits is impressive, Jimbo. We love talking to you. Talk about what you're doing now, because we had our good friend Jordan Tutu on in Nashville, which we haven't played it yet, but you're kind of doing the same thing, motivational speaking, help. But I don't know, there might be people out there that maybe want to have, what exactly are you doing?
Yeah, I kind of stumbled into this second career in life. I became a speaker. I'm always hesitant to say motivational speaker because it always seems like it's just some made-up deal. It's kind of silly, but
Some Chris Farley skit
yeah.
from SNL.
Yeah, exactly.
Motivational.
Exactly.
No,
Right.
you see me now, you don't.
But it's a really cool thing. Not to get too heavy. I don't know how you guys have sort of moved into the next phase of your life. You created this really cool
Yeah, this has
podcast,
helped.
and you're doing some cool stuff. But it does help to have something to direct some energy to. And what amazes me is anywhere I go in the United States, how much people love baseball, right? Iowa or Florida or Maine or the Northeast or Northwest. People remember you. They remember your story. They want to hear, and they remember the people you played with, the stadiums that you played in. And so I got up on stage a few times and I had a hard time. My mouth got dry. My hands were sweaty. And I'm just thinking to myself, get off stage. Shut up, shut up, shut up. And then all of a sudden I noticed that people were paying attention and getting something. I played missing my right hand. There's a story to that. There's a lot of kids and families and people out there more than I ever imagined who are like me. And that's not my only audience, but it's just really gratifying to see how many people connected.
Yeah.
They connect. And so as pro athletes, we fight so hard, and we're very protective of exposing ourselves. And it's amazing to think how many people are really rooting for you and invested in what you're doing.
Yeah. And you know what, Jimbo? We had Glenn Healy on last week, and Heels was an old goalie for the Rangers and Leafs, and he runs the NHL alumni now. And we had a great chat with him. And I said this to him last week when I first retired. Uppy was still playing, and Loops was still, or wherever the hell Loops was. But, I was a single guy. I had a 15-minute a week radio segment on Wednesdays that I did for free at the time, and I was looking forward to garbage day. Just for something to do, like, all right, here, let's get the garbage out. Okay, you know, and I had Big Canyon and Tom and the boys over there, Evan, that were big to me. But it's hard for athletes when you first, when they take that game away from you. So it's something that I went through. So if you're helping people out there, good, and thank you, because I went through it myself. It was hard. It's hard.
It is hard. You have to. We're young, and our friend Getsy's gonna.
Getsy.
He might be taking the trash out here pretty soon too. But
or feeding his goats.
His wife's got a list. His wife's got a list this fucking long. What he's gonna have to do.
He's got to fucking. He'll be milk the cows and get the chicken eggs and the goats. Fucking.
He'll be back playing. He'll go Brady style. His page will give. I'm going back. I'm playing. So, Jimbo, it means so much to me not be free to do this, buddy. Blue Jays, Angels in May. I'm going to invite you. Let's go take in that ball game. I've never seen a ball game with you. The Jays are here for 4 games.
Jays are good.
Yeah, we're excited. I already put some money on through DraftKings. I'm excited for it. So,
and just before, but we got to shout out to our boy Mike Fee. Fee is a longtime teammate, friend of yours. Scott Boris's right hand man. Great guy. Fee, we got to get you out golfing.
Yeah,
your money's good over at Big Canyon.
Love you, Fee.
Let's get him going once the greens are finally unpunched. I don't know. I'm going to play tomorrow, I think. Have you played? How are they Sunday?
They're getting there. They're getting there. They're a little punched, but fun, good. And hey, I just want to say thanks for having me, fellas. I really admire what you guys have created here, and you're really good at this. You are really good at it, and you're prepared. You ask great questions, and it's been an honor to be on.
Thanks, Jimbo. We appreciate it.
Appreciate you, Jimmy. That's Missin Curfew.
Missin Curfew.